This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty. Good morning. Yes, sir. Ready to rock and roll. And it's a hump day. We are in. Hello to one and all. Good morning. And if you want to join us for a nice ride, hopefully we will have a good one today on a Wednesday. It's a hump day. We got a bunch of sports stuff to talk about. We got a nice little interview coming up at 1 o'clock as Solomon Kinley, guard out of Georgia, is going to join us at 1 o'clock for the Miami Dolphins. Looking forward to that conversation because it's one where, you know, when you talk about the Dolphins, and we've had all these issues over the years, and one of them has always been on the offensive line, and we've been wondering, hey, you know, when are they going to shore up that offensive line? And, you know, today we're going to get to talk to Solomon Kinley, talk a little bit about that. You know, he's one of 3 Georgia players that got drafted with Andrew Thomas and Isaiah. Both tackles got drafted and the guard. So that obviously, you know, there was some high praise for this offensive line that they did a really good job playing at the best, you know, conference in college football in the SEC. And Solomon looks like a character, you know. And if you start now, you got a hard worker apparently in Kinley, right? And Robert Hunt apparently is a hard worker. Austin Jackson obviously is a hard worker and has got a lot of heart, you know, with the bone marrow and everything and bouncing back, you know, giving his sister the bone marrow and then still playing the entire season. And that had to have taken something out of him a little bit where he probably wasn't at his best all year long. So there's a lot of character in what they're doing. And, you know, one of the things that I love about what the Dolphins are doing is that they attacked this and they said, okay, look, first of all, let's tear this thing down so we can reconstruct it the way we want to do it. And Chris Grier learned a lot in the rebuild because he, instead of doing the patchwork thing, which is what every other general manager has done, is patchwork, you know, and then you're never really putting your stamp on it. And that's one thing that you can say right now, that this team and this front office and this coaching staff is putting their stamp on it. And their stamp is they went and acquired Danny Isadora and a couple of other guys right before the week of the season starting. They brought in 3 guys. Isadora was one of them. Well, he's back, right? They go and draft Robert Hunt. They drafted Michael Dieter last year. They draft Solomon Kinley this year. They go sign Eric Flowers in the offseason this year. They extend Jesse Davis, okay? Even Deion Calhoun is in the mix there also on top of all of that. So, I don't know, Calhoun was one of those guys that was a little bit of an overachiever, but then kind of ran out of gas and kind of had to adjust to this level, which is a little harder, as you all know. And so I love how they go, look, we're not going to win a damn game if we don't dominate on the lines. So now you've got a whole bunch of guys now on the line. Now you've got their stamp because these are all their guys. Pretty much, right? I mean, Flowers wasn't here. Solomon Kinley wasn't here. Michael Dieter wasn't here. Robert Hunt wasn't here. Danny Isadora wasn't here. Jesse Davis was the only one they inherited. Robert Hunt wasn't here. Deion Calhoun wasn't here. You know, so you start looking at all those guards and centers that they have. And look, Hunt, I know, will be started at right tackle. So maybe you have your right tackle, which would become one hell of a find if that guy becomes your right tackle, which is really, really cool if you're able to convert him. And just to give you a little nugget, I don't know if you know this, Solomon Kinley played left guard, right guard, and center. Remember how they like versatility? They like guys that can play multiple positions. Well, Kinley's played center in both guard spots. So he has already trained his body and his mind to habitually do everything right side and then habitually do everything left side. Because it's really difficult. Because you got to understand, when you switch from one side to another, you have to retrain your body, because everything you do now is completely opposite. You know what I mean? And so that's why it's a challenge for some guys. It's not as easy as some people make it out to be. Oh, no, you'll switch them. No, man. I mean, notice how any of us are. You have a stronger hand than another one, right? You have one that, because you use it more than the other. So it's just the way it is. And so habitually, you got to then change your habits, and you have to think naturally to one side or the other. And so Kinley has been able to do that. And so I'm looking forward to having that conversation with him. But again, it just shows you that these guys know what the hell they're doing, because they knew that they had to put their imprint on this team and change the way they go about football here. And one of the ways that we have not seen this team actually win is at the line of scrimmage. And we have to go back to win on a consistent basis. On the D line, we have to go back to the Jason Taylor, Tim Bowens, Darryl Gardner days. You weren't dominating on the offensive line, but you were dominating on the defensive line there. Now, they haven't had the combination of dominating O and D in forever. And so now they're trying to get to that point. Guys like Solomon Kinley are going to bring that. And we'll find out. We'll talk to him a little bit, because obviously, he fell a little bit in the draft, and that's because a lot of people feel like he can play in a phone booth but can't play in space. So we'll talk to him about that, about playing, having sometimes to play in space, getting to the next level, those kind of things. How's that adjustment going to be for him also? So, there are things he's going to have to work on, but there are things where he dominates in. And obviously, the guy that's right in front of him, he knows how to maul. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, because Kinley comes with this attitude. Hunt comes with this attitude. And I like that. I like that in the linemen, and I like the idea that you've got a bunch of guys now that can compete against each other. And then you've got depth. See, that's the other thing. If Kinley doesn't beat Dieter, it doesn't mean that Kinley is a disappointment, or if Dieter doesn't beat Kinley, it doesn't mean it's not a disappointment. If both are playing well, you now have depth. And that's the other thing. Let's not make it sound like you only need 5 guys. Okay? So that's why I'm glad they spent another pick on a corner. Because it's just 2 elite corners are not enough. Not in this league. Not the way they pass. And they know it. They see it. They know what this league is in. They went and got themselves what they feel is another elite corner on their team. Because I like Bobby McCain. Is he considered elite? Probably not. You know what I mean? I like Nick Needham. Is he considered elite? Probably not. But this kid has got potential to be that. And that's in their eyes, they're like, okay, well, we got to stop people from passing the ball. We got to rush their ass. We got to get after the quarterback. Let's go get some pass rushers, and let's get some corners. And they went and signed the best corner in free agency, and they went and drafted another corner. That's addressing the issue. Not going to be easy to pass on the Dolphins. Now, what I want to see is I want to see the Dolphins run on people. That's going to be a lot of fun because, look, we could go back and remember Ricky Williams and remember Lamar Smith recently. Okay, I don't want to go too far back because then I've got a whole bunch of a generation that's not going to know what the hell I'm talking about. They barely know what I'm talking about as it is with Lamar Smith and Ricky Williams.
4 or 5 game run of Jay Ajayi.
Right.
That
1,100-yard
yeah,
season.
Man.
Yeah, that 1,100-yard season. But again, that wasn't a dominant line. You know what I mean? The back then there were better players and they weren't dominant, but they were better players.
You're talking about just manhandling.
Yeah, man.
That line of scrimmage.
Yeah, because we're so hung up on the running backs that you can make the running back a really good player if your line is mauling people up front. And that's the job for Solomon Kinley and Eric Flowers and all these cats that are here. And I love the fact that you've got, a bunch of dudes that got attitudes, a bunch of dudes that are going to be competitive. And it looks like there's a way more talent now there than there has been in the past. So now it's a matter of molding it. It's a matter of finding out who starts and who becomes the backup players. But what I like is the Dolphins have the possibility of developing starters and quality backups. And I'm not going to be the guy that's going to be all hung up on, well, man, Solomon's starting, Dieter's not. Dieter's starting, Solomon's not. I don't care. I want to know that both are playing well. You know what I mean? That's what I want to know, because that way, if Solomon goes down, Dieter fills in. If Dieter goes down, Solomon fills in. All of a sudden, now you feel a lot better going into games. You don't have 5 linemen. You have 6 or 7 linemen easily. That's really nice. You got the swing tackle that can come in. You got a guard that can back up. Maybe a guy that's a center. Like I told you, Solomon Kinley's played a little center. So don't be surprised if they use him at center in practice.
Well, think about it. In the course of a season, man, how many teams have their 5 guys from game 1 to game 17 start? It happens to maybe
impossible.
1 or 2 teams.
Maybe.
That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, the Falcons.
You almost have to think that somebody's going to go down in the course of the year.
The year they got to the Super Bowl, their entire line was intact. And then it went down in the Super Bowl. They lost a guy or two in I think it was the Super Bowl where they lost one of them.
The Denver line back in the day that helped them win the Super Bowl with Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
And I think the Pats a couple times have been
You always need the
fortunate
breaks.
enough.
But if you don't have the breaks,
Right.
you need the depth.
Yeah.
So it's
You got to figure on your
I-
offensive line. You're going to go 7 deep probably in the course of the year.
I know what's coming, dude. I've been in the media forever, and I know how fans are, and you're going to be short-sighted about it, and you're going to wonder, well, wait a minute. Like I told you, they spent this pick on Dieter. They spent this pick on Solomon Kinley, and one of them isn't starting. That doesn't mean it's a failure. It doesn't. If you see that both are playing well and they gave one the starting nod, now you got quality depth. And, my friends, that's what you need in this league. You got to have another guy. You got to have a couple of other guys.
I was going to say at least one.
Yeah, a couple.
And probably 2.
Because you need a guard center type backup, and you
Right.
need a swing tackle. Guaranteed at least those 2.
At least those 2, yeah.
So you really need 8, because normally you don't have a guard center backup.
Well, what happens, I mean, if you have
Usually
somebody
have a backup guard and a backup center.
if you have somebody go down for the year, you know what I mean? That's where
Right.
we go to 8. You
Right.
need that, because then you
Sure.
need that backup guy to slide to the one spot
Gotta
back
have
up,
it.
and there's another guy got to be behind him because
Gotta have it. Gotta have it. And that's the one thing that I see that they're trying to do. And let's hope they accomplish it. That's all. Now we just got to sit back and hope that they can accomplish it. And
So going in, we're asking for basically 8 guys from the offensive line, 5 starters
At
to
least.
emerge, and then 3 backups.
yes, at least.
That's what we want.
Yeah. You'd love and
Oh,
you'd love to
yeah,
have
right.
2 or 3 guys that are right on the brink of starting. So that way they're hungry, they're there, they're prepared, and you've got a lot of depth. If we just get to 5, that's great for us, because obviously we haven't even had 4 good linemen on our 3. We haven't even had on our team.
Oh, let's be honest. You got to go back to Sims and Webb.
Yeah, no,
Right?
Yeah.
You're talking 15 to have a solid 5.
Yeah. It's been forever, So that's where all this stuff changes, and I can't wait for camp. I can't wait for them to start doing all of this. The only thing that's going to suck is though, fans aren't going to be able to go there, so you're not even going to be able to watch camp either. You know what I mean? So it's probably just preseason when you're really going to get a feel for some of these guys, and who knows? I don't even know how long the preseason is going to be, how shortened it is. All of that. I mean, they're talking about playing a season without any bye weeks, without any breaks in the playoffs between the championship games and the Super Bowl. So it's an incredibly condensed season, and this is the year before we go to 17 games, because we go to 17 games next year. So fortunately, they don't have the 17. I don't think that they would do that even if they had the 17th game. You know what I mean? Although I personally don't like this that they're not doing the bye weeks. I think they should do the bye weeks, no matter what. Let the season extend if you have to extend it into March or whatever. I know that they're worried about the rest of the draft process that then shifts it all back. But, that's another conversation for another day that we'll have. But I just like what they're doing on the offensive line. I like what they're attempting to do. And we'll talk to Solomon Kinley today at 1 o'clock so we can have a little fun with him on that subject. Anyway, you want to get in? As you can see right there, 786-322-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. As always, we got the YouTube chat board there. We got the super chat going on. We got all kinds of stuff here. Big O, do you think Finn's drafting another CB was in part because of the off-field scare of X Factor had? Why? Yeah, I talked about that already. You got to plan ahead. You got to have foresight. And when you draft Noah, remember I gave you a scouting report on Noah from one of my guys. He thinks he could be an outside starter, not just a nickel guy, but he can be the outside guy. So a year from now, if Noah's playing at an elite level and you love what you're seeing from him, and then X plays at an elite level and you want to move him for several picks, then you can do it at that moment and slide Noah over and go draft another guy and put him there. You can do that. So that way you relieve yourself of that salary. You're able to go draft another guy in the first or second round to play the slot. You move Noah over. And remember, one of the things that I want to tell you about Noah that's really key, by drafting him in the first round, you bought yourself the 5th year. So you have another year of development and another year to hold on to him on a really cheap salary overall. So the option is there. I don't think they're trying to move X at all, to be honest with you. But if you have confidence in your drafting ability. Now, remember, let's just go with this. You found Nick Needham out of nothing, right? You figured out a way to play Eric Rowe productively back there, okay? Now you signed Byron Jones, and you drafted Noah. If you see that Noah plays well, Byron Jones is an excellent pickup for you. X gets back to form. The guy that's running the show is the guy that found Needham, drafted X, drafted Noah, and signed Jones. So, I'm trying to plant all these seeds, like the whole Kinley Dieter thing. So if they move X and he kicks ass this year, and so does Noah and Jones, and they play well, and then next year they want to say, we got some offers for X that are pretty tasty. We can go draft another guy. And again, they have the ability, they have the eye, they find him. So we'll swing Noah over, we'll put him there. And now I'm only paying a lot of money to Jones. I still don't have to pay Noah for 3 more years. And now I drafted another kid that I don't have to pay for 4 or 5 years. And so that's how you work the cap. That's how you stay manageable and stay extremely competitive at the same time. Now, if things aren't as smooth as I'm talking about, then you're going to keep X. If Noah's development is a little slow, then you keep X for another year. You know what I mean? But you have that insurance policy just in case. And if it's not an insurance policy and you don't want to part with X, then you have some of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. If Noah elevates his game and he plays where X and Jones are at, now all of a sudden you got 3 nasty corners. In other words, the Dolphins really can't lose in this process unless Noah's a bust. I mean, that you can't control. You never can control that. But yeah, I think there's a level of protection there right now, NorCal. But at the same time, there's also depth. And you notice, you got depth at quarterback now. You had no quarterbacks, now you got 3, right? Because at least Rosen's a good backup. Not a good starter, because he hasn't proven that yet, but at least for a backup, he can do the job, and you drafted Tua along with Fitz. Now you have 2 running backs that I think are going to be pretty you can count on, because they've both been successful in this league. They both have that. They're not all pros, but they're serviceable. They're good players. You now have depth on the offensive line. You now have depth on the defensive line. You now have depth at linebacker. You see how things are changing? And so they this is we've only started year 2 of the rebuild. They still have, what is it, like another 11 picks next year or something like that? So they've got a bunch of picks again next year. And they got 2 2s and 2 1s. So they're going to have more opportunities to get real key players here.
Also cap friendly.
Yeah.
Because of all the rookie contracts.
Right.
The thing I liked about Noah, man, talking to the gentleman we had on last week, the fact that when he transferred over to cornerback, within 6 practices, he got it.
Right, yeah.
That's impressive because we can remember
at that level, too.
Oh, yeah. You remember the kid at UM, the speedster that was Rookie of the Year for Green Bay.
Oh,
there was a receiver that went to corner.
Sam Shields.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shield. Yeah, and I mean, he never got it until he got to the Packers.
Right. Yeah, that's why he was undrafted. Dean G says, Hi, Big O. With our current wide receiving core, injury history, Parker, Grant, Wilson, Williams, do you think we have depth to get through the season? Oh, we'll find out. I mean, we can't call Preston Williams injury prone because that's his only injury. Parker is injury prone, and he stayed intact last year pretty much. I mean, those are things. But again, Dean G, it's only year 2. You got to give him some time. And they'll try to, fill everything else out. But it won't be easy. It's just one of those things, and it's not done overnight. We have to give the Dolphins some time to turn over this roster. And they've already done a damn good job only into year 2 that you've got to feel better about what you're seeing right now compared to what you've seen in the past.
The other thing is player development. It's going to take a little while for the young guys to get the NFL game.
Yep. Mickey Collazo says, hell yeah, already getting to talk to one of our draft picks. Way to go, Big O. Yeah, we'll be doing it, baby. Dougie Fresh says, digging the Better Than Ezra shirt. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. This concert, I was at Coney Island. I saw KT Tunsil open up for Better Than Ezra, and Better Than Ezra open up for we saw him at Sunset Cove, a one day, whatever, with the Violent Femmes and
Bare Naked Ladies.
Bare Naked Ladies. Damn it. So Bare Naked Ladies was a headliner, Better Than Ezra was a second band, and KT Tunsil. And KT Tunsil, I had never seen her before, and I'm really impressed with her. She's really talented, man. If she's one person playing like 8 instruments and singing, it's just she's phenomenal, dude. I was so impressed with that. And I had never seen Better Than Ezra live. Like, I knew a few songs of Better Than Ezra. When I was done with that concert, I bought their catalog. I became like a huge Better Than Ezra fan because I was like, wow, these guys are way better because I knew Good. I knew a couple of the songs. And I was like, okay, I like these guys, and Bare Naked Ladies is fun. And I go, you know what, let's go to, we were already in New York City. We were there for, I think, one of our U2 or something like that. I think it was the U2 week. And we were there to see U2 4 times. And so one of the days off, that concert was going on in Coney Island. I go, come on, man, let's go have a fun concert at Coney Island. Because I've seen Bare Naked Ladies, and they're fun. They're fun. And so I went with a buddy of mine, and we saw Better Than Ezra, and I was like, I'm blown away. It's like, wow, man, they are really good live. Really enjoy them, man. New Orleans band, by the way, for those of you that don't know. Dougie Fresh, aren't you like you're Pensacola, right? I think so. You're right there. You should know about them. Let's see, what do we have here? I noticed we signed a veteran wide receiver, Ricardo Lewis. Yeah, he's bounced around the league. That's training camp fodder probably. Big O Show live from the 2020 Miami Dolphins training camp. Sounds good to anyone else? Sounds good to me. I don't know if they'll let me in because they got their little deals with the Week band, the Week station. Don Parlamento, thank you, sir, on the super chat. I appreciate you. Bill appreciates you. Thank you for helping us out as always, and the incredible support all of you give us listening
Yeah, well, going into day 3 with the Super Chat. You guys are amazing.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We added Super Chat this week to help us grow as a show so we can go to places all across the country to cover the Dolphins, the Heat, the Hurricanes, all of that good stuff, man. When those good moments come, we want to be on the road for a lot of those moments and cover all that stuff. Let's see. DraftKings says Tannehill was a wide receiver playing QB. He did not have it. 7 years and a max contract. Definitely not worth it. Tua has way more talent than Tannehill, even with the injuries. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close. Miami Kid says, Que vola, Molina. Just Ice Cool says, even if Dolphins go 7-9, I'll be happy because we have more cap and another 5 picks in the top 100. Hey, 7-9 is an improvement from 5-11. What you don't want to do is go 4-11. 12. Sorry, let me do the math. 4-12. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to be 3-13. Okay. I know what you're saying. Oh, hey, we got a shot at Trevor Lawrence too.
I would say even 5 wins, doing what we did last year with the increase in talent.
Yeah,
would be kind of a
Yeah.
It would.
No,
I don't want to say but a letdown.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I expect them to win more than 5. They got to win more than 5.
Like
now.
I said, whatever you say, I'm adding 5, brother.
Pressure's on now. They've got to win more than 5 now, dude.
You say the number, and I'm adding 5 to it.
They have to win more than 5. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's. I mean, that's accurate. I can't argue with that, dude. You know. So it's a beautiful thing. Big O, if Rosen is the starter to start the season and lights it up for the first few games, what happens? We are super lucky. Super lucky. I mean, that's the best case scenario, folks. You do know that, right? All right, let's talk a little bit about that, okay? If Rosen comes through, all right, I just talked about this to open the segment. Don't look at it negative. All right. You know what? Let me do this. Let's take a quick break because it's 11:30. Let me get back here. Let me explain something to you on Rosen hitting, how it becomes the biggest blessing in disguise. Let's take a quick break. VSS West Pines, a proud sponsor. Go see Jose and Jason and Alex and Tommy and all the great people out there, man. 12397 Pembroke Road. Go to the website, vsswestpines.com. They've got drive up. They take a curbside service, so you can call them at 954-613-3367. Order by phone any of your CBD products, whatever you're looking for. Go to the website. You can see a lot of the products there. You can buy it, and then curbside, drive right up. They'll take it right to your car. You don't even have to walk inside, or you can come to the door and knock or ring the doorbell. They'll come to the door. They'll take your order, and they'll ring you right up. I'm telling you, go to my friends at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road for all of your CBD needs.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we back. FSU baby chiming in on the super chat. I appreciate you, FSU baby. You're asking me what number will Tua end up with, Big O. Now, I had fun with this the other day. I said 3 would be the perfect number. Okay? I guess FSU baby, you did not hear it on Monday, I think it was, when I talked about it. And I'm having fun because I know Rosen has 3. And he's not going to give it to him or anything. And it's not really like that was Tua's number. But I said 3 because Tua will lead the Dolphins to their 3rd Super Bowl. Okay? Guaranteed. That's what's going to happen.
Super Bowl win, right?
It'll Super Bowl win, and it'll happen in his 3rd season.
Because we have been there 5 times.
3 again. And the 3rd season, you win the Super Bowl in 2023. 3 again. Okay? And then that would match D. Wade, who's 3, and brought 3 titles to Miami. Plus Tua, the name Tua has 3 letters. So I say 3. But it's not going to happen. 11 was his number. They gave him 13 because 11, Ruggs had taken it already. So, I don't know what he's going to end up with. It's not going to be 13, and I know Mike Bianchi over in the Orlando Sentinel, I tweeted him back. I said, dude, you're trolling now. He goes, he wrote an article, a column today, Marino should be classy enough to give up his number to Tua for the future superstar. And no. That's a great question, man.
It's the one I've heard, 4, because 1 + 3 is 4, and 4 is available.
Or he could just go with 5 since he was drafted 5.
I like that.
So that's the only one that I'm going with 5 because 11's taken by Parker, 13 is Marino, 3 is Rosen. Go 5. So I'm going to go 5.
Hold on. And you know what else? If he wins like Wade, 3 championships, that gives us 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Wins.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. All right. You're right. Julius 305. Thank you, sir, chiming in on the super chat. Appreciate you, Julius 305. He puts my daily contribution. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you very much for assisting us and helping us grow. So, yeah, I'll go with 5. I like to have fun with the 3 because there's so much synergy in the 3. You know what I'm saying? We are the 305, so some of us at least. So, yeah, I don't know. I just like the 3, but, what can I tell you? Yesterday I tweeted out, it was Tua day. Meet me down in the 305 at Wade County. So, it's just everything goes so good. All right. I was talking about Rosen, and you were asking me if Rosen hits, and let's say he starts balling, the light goes on. That's the greatest thing that can happen to the Dolphins. Remember what I was just telling you that, okay, now we're going to get a couple of guys to compete at guard, guys that they've drafted the last 2 years. Well, somebody's going to lose the competition. But I know that there's going to be people that are going to look at it like a negative, and I'm not. The only way you look at it as a negative is if the guy can't play and it was a total bust. But if Dieter and, Kinley are playing well, but Dieter barely beat Kinley, or Kinley barely beat Dieter, but they're both doing a good job, then I'm happy, man, because now they got 6. And if Jesse Davis is playing well at right tackle and Hunt is starting. Well, now we got 7. I start to feel better about this. And it becomes something of a positive because the more good players you have and the excess that you have of those players, they now become what, ladies and gentlemen? Trade bait. So if Josh Rosen goes out and balls, then you now can drive up the price. And instead of, I don't even know, did Josh Rosen really cost you a second rounder? I don't know, because you got 1 second rounder and turned it into 2 second rounders. How do we even justify that? It's like a half a second rounder. So what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So now you could turn him into a first rounder, 2 second rounders. I don't know. I saw Matt Schaub get traded for 2 second rounders years ago from Atlanta to Houston. You never know. So if you're a Dolphins fan, yeah, man, you're rooting for Josh Rosen to succeed. You're rooting for Josh Rosen to ball. That doesn't create any problems. That creates a beautiful problem to have. That's the kind of stuff that you want to be disturbed with. That Josh Rosen is balling. That's freaking awesome. You know? So that's where I would go with that one. David Pridham says Marino's lack of rings still stings with him. His yards and TD records have been shattered by lesser QBs due to the rule changes. Give the man his retired jersey, number 13, SOL, level of immortality. I don't think they're taking it away. I don't think they're asking for it. This is something, it's not a subject, man. And Tua's not that guy. Tua's not going to want 13. You understand that, right? One of the things that you're going to like about Tua, I believe, from what I'm reading, the way I see him, I think he's his own man. I think he wants to go out and make his own mark. I think he wants to make his own number. So that way he makes it what it is. That 12 stands for Greasy and 13 stands for Marino. And whatever number he picks, he wants to make it his number, not somebody else's. So I think Tua will want to make his own mark. I think we're making a big deal out of absolutely nothing. I don't think he's even thinking of 13. I'll go with 5. That'll be my guess. You know, you guys can give us your guess while you're watching and listening, and you can do it on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can put it on the text machine. Like DM Fins Up says, 9 will be Big O. So he's going to go at 9. Let's see. Tua has great potential. Marino was a great NFL QB, was one of the best of all time. Like Parcells said, potential means you haven't done anything yet in the NFL. You are correct, sir. You are correct. But it's nice to have a quarterback that I know is accurate. That's all, man. I just like that the Dolphins drafted a guy they don't have to really teach him the position. They just have to teach him the game plan, teach him football at this level, defenses, you know, things like that, game speed he has to adjust to, the normal things that every real player adjusts to. We don't have to teach him to throw a touch pass or get pocket feel or any of that crap. That's what I like. They didn't take some project. They took a guy that's a winner, man. Big O, so regardless of the situation, Rosen's days as a Dolphin are numbered, whether he balls or stays backup material. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. No doubt. Big O, do you know anything about our new O-line coach, Jim Marshall? Can you ask or tell if he's a good teacher for young players? I hope he is. Well, we all hope he is. I can't tell you if he is or not. We'll find out. Just like, we didn't know about Flores. And now we feel a lot better about Flores. And I think in one more year, if Flores does well again, we're going to be convinced that that's the guy. So there you go. Julius 305 says Greasy 12, Marino 13, Tua 14. You know what? I kind of like that. I like that actually more than 5. Because there's like an order of the history of the quarterbacks. So, yeah, the next stud takes over, and you've got
hopefully a stud Hall of Famer eventually. He's a Hall of Fame individual. So yeah, I like Julius 3. I'm with Julius 305 on this one. That's better than 5. I like that. I like that a lot. I never thought of it because you got Greasy 12 and then Marino 13, and then it just kind of follows through. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like it. Rosen can still win the starting job. It's all up to him. Yes, that I can tell you 1,000%. Look, man, Rosen can't complain. He had an opportunity last year, and he could not get himself ready enough for it and could not compete on a consistent basis to keep the job and give the team the best chance to win. And when he couldn't do that, Flores did the responsible thing. He benched him. He had to bench him. You lose the locker room if you're just playing a guy to develop him and you're hurting the rest of the team. And without that smart move by Flores, which, by the way, my dumb ass wanted Rosen to stay there, but I didn't see the big picture the coach did. I was wrong, and he was right. You had to get Fitz back in there so you could develop Gesicki, so Devontae Parker can have the season he had, so Preston Williams can continue to play well, so your team had a chance to compete. Because when things broke down, Fitz found ways to make plays with his arm or his legs, things that Rosen was not ready to do. And so the coach, and that's the reason why he's there and I'm back here just running my mouth behind this mic, he was right. He saw the big picture. He said, I can't assess everybody. I don't know what they're doing, if they're good or bad, because my quarterback is not giving everybody else an opportunity to make plays. And Fitz gave everybody an opportunity to make plays. And if Rosen starts the entire year, by the end of the year, we say Parker's still a bust, Gesicki hasn't come through, who's this Preston Williams kid? Why'd they play him so much? He really didn't do much. You know what I'm saying? And so by playing Fitz, we were like, wow, Parker is the bomb. Hey, Gesicki's waking up. Hey, they found something in Preston Williams. You know what I'm saying? Even Isaiah Ford played better. I mean, we could just go on and on. So it was really smart on their part. But it's up to Rosen that the next time he's given an opportunity, you got to shine, man. You got to show the people above you that, you're worth this decision, that I'm going to be the difference maker. I hope Tua wears 17 so I can forget the fact that Tana Sucks ever wore that number. Forget 13. I guarantee Tua wouldn't consider it. I'm with you. Besides, it's moronic to even go there, people. Marino is Dolphin legend and NFL icon. Yeah, that's not even an issue. If Rosen is in the day one starter, he's not even backup worthy. Finns need to show him progress or he's worthless. You can't put him day one starter because of the hit, my brother. He cannot take hits yet. You can practice him and all that and keep him in the red jersey, but you gotta let that thing heal. It's a hip, okay? It's got to heal really good. Today's QBs don't get hit. Receivers in stride, they don't get hit. Have you watched the Alex Smith video? You sure they don't get hit? Just saying. Isn't Cam Newton coming back from shoulder and a Liz Frank injury? Didn't Andrew Luck get retired because he got hit too much? You get hit in football, dude. Okay? I this theory out there, well, the quarterbacks don't get hit. Get the hell out of here, dude. They don't get hit if they're smart and they get rid of the ball really quickly.
You could correct it. They don't get hit like they used to.
Okay, fine. Lyle
Alzado
no longer is stepping on your chest when he gets up. I get
Buckus
it.
isn't clotheslining you.
Yes, terrific. I get it. John Matuzak isn't sticking his finger in your ear hole as he's getting up. I totally understand that.
Recently passed great Mike Curtis.
Yes.
A maniac.
A maniac, yes. Come on.
I look, man, I'm old. I saw old-time football, okay? I know what it's like. I know what playing through the whistle is. I saw it. I know that, but they get hit, dude. They get hit and they get hurt. All right? Anybody still remember Pat White in a practice? I mean, in a game, and there's Tomlin like, yo, you want to check this guy out? They don't get hit. They get hit, bro. Some of you, you know what? I think some of you really need to get the opportunity of being right by the sidelines during an NFL football game. I think from TV and deep in the stands, I don't think you realize how big and strong these men are. It is scary how big and strong and how fast these men are. You get hit, dude. You get hit. Big O, I think Raekwon Davis has a chance to be a star in this defense. What do you think? He's got a boatload of talent, man. Boatload of talent. Pat's brought in Rosen's college OC, so if we release him, don't be surprised they scoop him off waivers. They're not releasing him, Red Angry Cuban. You can forget about that. That's not going to happen, man. Rosen is a super cheap backup. And Tua's got injuries. So you got to hang on. You got to have a third QB right now, no matter what. While you have Tua right now until he's proven, you got to have a third QB. And Rosen is your backup right now. He will be your backup when the season starts. I believe that.
Oh, in all honesty, in the we want 3 quarterbacks. You want your starter, your backup, and a guy developing.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Jack Tatum and Atkinson, the worst headhunters. Reasons to dislike Silver and Black. Ask Daryl Stingley what he thinks about dirty play today versus 70s and 80s. Yep. No, I'm with you there. I know it was dirtier, but you got hit, bro. You got hit back in the day. Don't tell me that you didn't get hit. You got hit, and you got hit big freaking time in the NFL. All right? Don't knock your pecker and your sock in the NFL. Nico Jones says, I was on the sideline for the Buffalo game last year. When they're all padded up in cleats, they look like monsters. Yeah, they're ginormous human beings. You know?
I call them dinosaur human beings because they're like monstrous in size.
Joe Miller says, Jakeem Graham made me cringe when he gets hit. And I can believe that. I mean, because he's so tiny compared to some of the guys you see in the NFL. Yeah, he's not the biggest dude out there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm with you guys on that. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. I'm just seeing this come across the wire that a biotech company says its experimental drug has proven effective against the new coronavirus in major U.S. government studies that put it to a strict test. Gilead scientists would be the first treatment to pass such a test against the virus, which has killed more than 218,000 people worldwide. That would be nice. Study was run by the National Institute of Health, and it tested the whatever it is versus usual care in about 800 hospitalized coronavirus patients around the world. The main result is how long it takes patients to recover. All right, so we'll see. We got to find something, man. Definitely got to find something because we're going to need massive testing for all of us to go enjoy sports again, you know, and to trust it. I mean, think about it. If somebody sneezes around you nowadays, think about it. You're at a Dolphins game, somebody sneezes around you, you're gonna feel like uncomfortable, and it's not your fault. And that kind of paranoia, we got to get rid of, man. I mean, really, somebody coughs, sneezes, whatever. I pulled up to the drive-thru the other day. I went to go get something, and I was there with my wife, and the guy had his mask down and had no gloves. And he's like serving the drinks. And I go, yo, brother, you don't have a mask on, you don't have your gloves, and you're serving drinks. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I get it, but, give me my money back. We're out of here. And so we did it because, that's just the way it is now. It's like, sorry, man, you got to do things the right way. You're not doing things the right way. I got to get out of here. I'm done. I don't need it. I'm 53, bro. I got 5 stents in my heart. I'm trying to stay away from that crap. I wash my hands like 8 times a day nowadays. And I get it. There's a level of paranoia, and we got to get past that so we can enjoy our lives again, man. Would be really, really nice if we're able to get to that point again. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter, and that's at Big O Show. I was thinking about this. So you draft Tua, right? Rosen's there, and Rosen's got a shot to play because Tua's going to be, at the beginning probably on the PUP list, I would imagine, that he's not going to play for several weeks early on. They'll have him practicing and all that stuff, but I'm sure they're not going to put him in harm's way early on yet. Some people are saying a redshirt his whole year. I'm not there yet because once we get to November, you're a year removed from the hip injury. That should be now, you should be recovered. And if you could get some games towards the end, and if the offensive line is playing well, then, yeah, I want to get Tua in there a little bit and get him some playing time. But some people are fine with not playing him for the whole year, and I am too if the line is not playing well. But I was just thinking about all of this, okay? So you draft Tua, you trade for Rosen last year, and you sign Fitzpatrick. If you're Jake Ruddick, how do you feel right now, dude? Like if you didn't draft Tua, at least if you're Jake Ruddick, you're like, well, I might make it as the third quarterback. They might keep, and I don't know if he's practice squad eligible and if they put him on the practice squad. But at least Jake Ruddick, if Rosen was kind of struggling, maybe he could compete with Rosen and all that. But with Tua in the mix and Rosen and Fitzpatrick, it's got to be the loneliest situation for him now. Now, Jake Ruddick is simply putting stuff on film at this point. Okay? And by the way, when I've seen him play, it's not like he's terrible. Obviously he's got something to him. He doesn't look like he's starting material at all, but maybe he's a guy that could develop into some kind of a backup or something for you. But he won't even have the chance for that. He won't even have the chance to get that. And it's funny because, or not funny, but it's weird because you could say Rosen and Tua are kind of competing. We know they're not because Tua's the future. But right now, with Tua still recovering from that hip, not ready to take hits, I don't care what anybody tells you. Tua might be able to run around and throw. He's not ready to take hits. But Rosen and him, at least, Rosen could say, well, when the season starts, I'll be the backup. Maybe Fitz struggles. I get in there. I get a chance to showcase myself because they're not going to put Tua in there. He's got a shot. There's like a glimmer of hope. Fitz twists an ankle, Rosen's going to get thrusted in there right away. They're not going to put Tua, especially when you haven't even settled the offensive line. You're going to serve Rosen up. You're not serving Tua up, dude. Okay? And so somebody asked, oh, you got to put him in from day one. No, dude, you got to get that offensive line intact first. They've got to be balling. I don't want Tua back there and running for his life. That doesn't make any sense, and they know that. I don't even need to get into that discussion. But you think about where Ruddick is at. It's like the loneliest part of the team because he's really, if everything goes normal, he's got no shot being on the team. Unless it's like practice squad. But outside of that, here's a guy that is just competing to put stuff on film. Whenever he gets a shot in the preseason, there you go. Tua may not even play the preseason because the hip may not be ready to take any hits. And what are you going to do? risk Tua playing in the preseason for some street free agent that wants to make a name for himself to knock the crap out of him? Hell no. So it's a lonely position right now for Jake Rudock, because he's competing against the camera. That's it. Did you get that? All right, put it on a tape for me. Put it on a DVD because I need that. That's it. That's all he's doing. Jake Rudock's favorite dude is going to be the film guy of practice. Hey, did you get a couple of those reps? All right, put it together for me on a tape, so I can send it out to people once I get cut from this place. I mean, seriously, he's got to be sitting there in the draft going, oh, God, they took Tua. Oh, man, Tua, Rosen, Fitzpatrick. Oh, I've got no shot. Oh. That's crazy. Poor guy, man. It's just one of those moments where, well, hopefully he can make it on the practice squad. I don't know. I'm sure he probably has eligibility to be on the practice squad. But, man, that's just got to be rough for the poor guy. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line as we get ready for hour number 2 on the program. We do want to remind you that the show is proudly brought to you by Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines, baby, the finest dealership in the business. They've got it going on, man. Listen, 90 days, no payments. When you go there, you can, if you're buying or leasing a car, they will give you 90 days, no payments, man. And that's why we tell you all the time to get on down there to 15601 Pines Boulevard. Check it out for yourself, folks. And not only that, they've got the Acura loyalty program from $500 to $2,000 off a new car, whether you're buying or leasing a vehicle. If you're an Acura owner already and you own or lease an Acura and you want to go purchase another one, they've got the loyalty program going on right now. And that is, of course, $500 to $2,000 off. Some features right now: the ILX, $239 a month; the MDX, $409 a month; $27.99 due at signing plus tax tag and registration, folks. RDX featured standard lease, folks, $379 a month, only $27.99 due at signing. That's why we want you to get on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Tell them that Big O sent you. Trust me, they're going to take care of you at Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We are an hour
This is the
away.
Big O Show.
Solomon Kinley, Dolphins offensive god, is going to join us. We're going to talk to the big fish at 1 o'clock. So we'll have a little fun with Solomon. Looking forward to that conversation. If you guys want to get in on the program, it's really simple. You can reach out, as it says right there in the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. You can also reach out on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. On our YouTube chat board, we got that going on. We got the super chat going on. It's a beautiful thing. Big O, I heard there is talent in the supplemental draft. Is this true? You know what? I haven't even looked up who's in the supplemental draft. I have no idea. I'd have to look it up. I'd be lying to you if I told you, I haven't even bothered to look at it whatsoever, the supplemental draft participants. Let me see.
That order is based on, like, the Bengals would be first, right?
Yes. Well, yes. But you don't now you don't have to pick your first rounder. And like, if you don't think that player is worth it, you pass up on your first round, and then it goes through 32. And then the second round starts again, and it goes through the 32. So it all depends on where you pick is where that pick goes, and then it penalizes you the following year.
Because if you use the pick, you lose that round the following year.
You lose it in the draft. Right. So you expect.
You better make sure that guy's something.
Yes. So I'd have to look it up for you, and I'll do this now while I'm doing the show and see if I see anything and see the names. But I don't even know the names right now. I have no idea who's going to be in the supplemental draft here. I don't think there's. I don't see any like new articles. It's talking about 2019. Let me see if I can put 2020 here. Damn it, bro. I hate when this happens. Here we go.
Are you using the old tablet or the new tablet?
I'm using the old one.
Aha.
Using the old one. Let me see here. Supplemental. All right, here we go. Let me see who's in it. All right. To enter supplemental draft, a player must be in his final year of college eligibility, 3 years removed from high school. Potential impact players like Travis Etienne and Devonta Smith surprisingly chose to forego 2020 NFL draft this spring and return to school for their senior seasons. However, if the NCAA were to cancel the 2020 college football season, that could alter their decision. So I have not, again, they have nothing. But if Etienne gets in there, yeah, that alters it. Yes, that would be nice. But we don't know yet who's in there. At least I don't see an article. It says report could see an influx of college football players applying for the supplemental draft. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You would use a first-round pick on ATN?
Yes, Miami's first round, yes, because it'll be in the middle of the first round now. Yes.
And we don't get to choose. Like, we want to use Houston. It's your first.
It's your first round pick. It's your first round
Which
pick.
should.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I don't want to count Houston out because obviously they got Watson, right?
He won't make it to Miami's second round. Etienne.
Next year? No,
I'm saying the supplemental.
Oh, and right. Somebody, yes, I agree. Somebody's going to take a flyer
right
with the first round pick.
Right.
No doubt.
Right. And
How about this? Do you think the Dolphins knew about this? Do you think that, because I just saw a report now that college football is considering a shortened football season with only conference games they're talking about. So did the Dolphins say, hey, we've got extra picks and the supplemental draft is probably going to have players now and really good players, and maybe we could get our running back there? You know, I told you yesterday, I think they stayed away from the running back because they don't have an offensive line still settled in and all that. Maybe they don't want their guy getting all beat up here as they're still trying to develop things. It's like develop it over the next 2 years, have a great line, and then add the young stud, and he steps into a team with a quarterback already in a groove, the line already in the groove, and then he can just be fresh and run free. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's the case. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but at least right now, I don't see they haven't said who's in the supplemental draft. So we don't know that yet. Until we get that list, we won't know what to do. Heyday, maybe a few years in rearview mirror. His pinnacle, he plugged in a dude named Earthwind at CB. What? You guys are having some other conversation there. Big O, what would your front seven look like on rundowns? Your nickel packages, me, Lawson, McMillan, Baker, Van Noy, Wilkins, Davis, Godchow, Nickel, Needham, Baker, Noah, Sharif. I'm not ready to make that yet. I got to see them play. So I know who's good at you. Like, you've got already Raekwon Davis there, and we got to see him actually play. You know what I mean? I'm not exactly sure. And the nickel and the dime, I don't know yet. I don't know if they develop another safety that they can move Bobby McCain over and then Needham gets pushed down even more. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Noah's development is a little slow, like Pat Surtain, and Bobby McCain starts over Noah. That could happen. That doesn't mean it's a disappointment. I know people will overreact, but it wasn't a disappointment for Pat Surtain. And sometimes players take a little bit of time to develop, and you got to give them some time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not ready to. I got to see people play. I don't know who's going to stay healthy or not. That's the other thing. So it gets too much. We're getting too much into the hypothetical now at this point, and those kind of projections. But I am looking forward to the competition on all of this. I will say, this is what I will tell you, Sharif. They're going to be way better, man. They're going to be way better. And that's going to be a lot of fun. That's what I love, that this team is deeper on both sides of the ball. And they're going to be way better. They are saying the supplemental draft will probably have more people because kids that decided to go back to school might regret it because of the possible eligibility loss from COVID-19. I know. I know that, but they don't have the list yet. We don't have any names yet. So until we have the names, we can't talk about it. But they will have an opportunity. That's going to be pretty cool. And the Dolphins might be able to take advantage of it. I'll tell you this. I saw this story, and I found it kind of a trip. Ryan Phillips from the Big Lead, okay? And I don't know what my man was smoking. Ryan Phillips from the Big League, but he had the Dolphins, okay? He came up with a 2021 mock draft already. All right, now you gotta check this out. I don't know what this guy, senior writer for the Big Lead, is thinking of, and he's probably a good dude and all that stuff, but he's seriously smoking some really, really good stuff, okay? He's got the Jags with the first pick in the 2021 draft, okay? Which, the Jags, the way they tore it down now, you can see them being one of the worst teams in the NFL. I mean, they're a bad franchise as it is. He's got the Dolphins at number 4. How are the Dolphins going to be worse this year than they were last year? that's where, like, I look at people sometimes and I go, do you work in our business? Do you actually watch sports? You know, because I get it. There's a lot of radio hosts that they don't really watch a lot, and they walk in the morning, midday, afternoon, evening, whenever they're doing their show, and their producer has their whole show mapped out. You know, and all they got to do is come in and read all the stories and then go off those stories, and that's it. Not that they really took the time to watch it and all of that. How do you pick Miami to be 4? I mean, I get it. I know our team has been a bad franchise for years. People around the league may look at the Dolphins and say they're still going to be bad. That's fine, man. I can live with that part. But just common sense tells you, well, wait a minute, dude. Look at the offseason they had. Look at all the guys they added in free agency. Look at the draft. They won 5 games with barely any talent. So now they've actually put together a pretty respectable roster. And Tom Brady's out of the division, and you expect him to take a step back? I'm reading that article. I'm like, how in the hell are you going to do a mock draft for 2021 and think the Dolphins are going to go backwards? That doesn't make any sense. Now, I'll give you the good news, okay, because that was like the ridiculous one. He's got the Texans at number 10. And Miami's got their pick. So the only positive that I like of that article is that he would have the Texans and Miami would have a top 10 pick with that one. I don't think Miami will be in the top 10 next year. I don't. I'm giving that coaching staff that kind of respect and those kind of expectations. If you won 5 by tearing down the team, and now you have built it up in free agency in the draft, and I really love what you've done, I expect you to be way better. He's got here's the other one. He's got New England 26th. I'm sorry. They're going to be the 7th best team in the NFL? I mean, I don't believe that either. I think they're going to be a lot lower. I think they're going to lose a lot of games. I think the Patriots struggle to even get to 500. I got to tell you.
It's all on the quarterback, right?
Yes. Well, it's everything else.
No, but I mean to make up the difference like Brady did. You know, their shortcomings.
It's a lot more than that.
They're asking a lot of that kid.
No, they're not. They're asking a lot from their team. Their team's not that good. They lost a lot of people, man, overall. So, you know, that's the problem there, where I saw that and it's like, so you expect the Patriots to barely miss a beat. You expect the Dolphins to drop down. Houston really shouldn't be at 10 with Deshaun Watson, but whatever. Like, are you really following the league? Are you really keeping up with what's going on? Because it certainly doesn't seem like it. You can check it out, the article. It's in the Big Lead, Ryan. It's one of the top articles in the front page of it. All right, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Let's see what we have here. There's a good chance the Texans draft pick maybe top 10, possibly even top 5. I don't know, man. I mean, I hope you're right, but with Deshaun Watson, I would figure you'd win a few more games. You know what I mean? We'll see. Let's see what we have here. You know what? Let me go to the accidentlawfirm.com text line because I have not answered your questions today on that, and that is always a very busy vehicle. Let's see. Why did you leave 1210? Because it's a piece of shit. I mean, I don't know. Does he want me to be honest or what? It's like
no candy coating there.
No, it's a dog crap place. What do you want? You know, Owner that's freaking clueless and has no talent whatsoever. Big O, did you see it? The Lakers took out a small business loan with scumbags. You know, I talked about it yesterday. I will be rooting against the Lakers for the rest of the season. I hope they lose every game. I will take pleasure when they get eliminated in the playoffs by the Clippers. In fact, I'm going to buy a Clippers jersey just for the finals to root against the Western Conference Finals, just to root against the Lakers. Made me a mod, bro. Been here since day one. Dude, GPP Central. I'm about to take that DraftKings and FanDuel off my name soon. Make me a mod, bro. What does that mean? You got me. I don't know what that means, but did somebody like take your name on the chat board or something? What happened there, dog? John from Ohio, Big O. What past player seemed like a home run to you when the Dolphins drafted him but ended up flaming out? It's a good one, man. What player did I think was going to be an absolute monster and did not become that? What?
If it doesn't just restrict us to Dolphins.
Yeah, dude, it's just Dolphins. We don't care about your Bears.
No.
Just
I was going to say
Dolphins.
Ryan Leaf. We thought Ryan Leaf was going to be the guy.
No.
That's probably the biggest.
Dolphins. Stay on this subject. Dolphins. We could pick 1,000 players. I could pick a bunch of players that didn't play well for the Dolphins. But what you're saying is a guy that I felt like was a can't miss, right? I'm trying to think of the guy that I thought was a can't miss. God. It's got to be someone. I'm trying to think of that person that I thought for sure was going to be a beast. I'm going to think about. Oh, Sammy Smith. Sammy Smith, dude. I thought he was going to be a beast. Yes. He torched the freaking Canes, loaded with NFL players for like 160 yards. Big, strong back, can run, can catch the ball. I had no idea he had more interest being a drug kingpin than a football player. I think he just got out of jail recently after all that drug dealing and was in jail for double digits. Sammy Smith, bro. I thought Sammy Smith was going to be a beast because anybody that could run like that on the UM defense at that time, that was respect. And when they picked him, I thought he was going to be a beast. Yeah, I liked other players, but I think your question is like nasty. Like I thought he was going to be like, all right, this guy's going to punish the crap out of people. Marino will have his running back, all of that. And it didn't happen. Okay? Yeah, I'll go with Sammy Smith because of the size and the strength and the speed. There you go. Should we give the starting nod to Tua or should we begin him at third string and allow him to earn it? He's a third stringer, sir. Third stringer is what you got to do with him early on. There is no hurry and you have no offensive line yet. So until that line develops, you cannot put that young man back there. How about jersey number 1 for Tua? Question from Larry. I have no problem with that one. I have no problem with a number 1, even though I think Garrow all the time with a number 1. But I still like the idea of 14 because we had Greasy at 12, Marino at 13, and then put him at 14. I like that idea. I like it. I really do. Mike in Arizona, Big O, I love your thinking. Super Bowl 2023 is in my backyard here in Phoenix. What better way to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the undefeated season right here in Arizona with the Dolphins' 3rd championship? I'll be there. Bill will be there. We'll be there. You right? You're all right with that? You're all right with being in Arizona for the Super Bowl, watching the Dolphins win? You all right?
That's like a dream.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're all right with that.
Super Bowl,
2 years from now.
You couldn't keep us away.
Arizona, 2 years from now. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking the football gods.
Not next year, the following year, right?
It's 3rd year. Yeah, it's 3rd year. Yeah. We needed to end with a 3. let's be realistic. I mean, it can't be a second year because that's going to be really his first full year of starting. Let's give him, his third year, second full year of starting. He leads us all the way to the Super Bowl win, man. Why not? Let's see. What else do we have here on the accidentlawfirm.com text line? Big O Roger from California. I would plug in Rosen midseason and bring his value up and trade him at the end of the season. What do you think? My man, you can do that as long as he's doing his part. Okay? It's up to Rose. You just can't throw him in there. It's like, when Sharif asked me now, well, what lineups? Well, I got to see them play first. I got to know who's who and what's what and all that so I can know who I feel comfortable with. And the same thing here. In a perfect world, I got to tell you, Rosen beats out Fitzpatrick in training camp in the preseason, balls out, and you start him from the beginning of the year. That's the perfect scenario. Okay? I would love Rosen to play, but it's up to him. You can't just, we're going to throw him in midway. If you've learned something from Flores already, if you're not helping us win, you're not playing. We're not here to develop you while you're making us lose. No. You will practice. You will get better in practice in the classroom. When you're not making mistakes in the classroom and you're playing well, you will play on the football field. And then when you play on the football field, you will be productive. If you're not productive, Michael Dieter, Josh Rosen, Taco Charlton, Charles Harris, you will be sitting down. That's the way they roll here. They don't care who the hell you are. They don't care about the draft pick. Oh, Nick Needham, we picked him off out the street. No, he's playing, dude. He's better than you and you and you. We don't care. That's real coaching, man. No ego. No, hey, our fourth rounder's out playing our first rounder. The fourth rounder plays. That's how Jimmy was. That's how you're supposed to do it. Oh, you said you didn't want to go too far back to talk running backs because younger folks won't know. Finns have only ever two elite backs, Zonka and Ricky. Lamar, A.J. Kirby, Stafford, Higgy, all Jags. Not Jags. Those are good players, man. I wouldn't call them Jags. Nathan, Sammy Smith, fumble guys. Tony Nathan was a good pass-catching back out of the backfield. Elephant backfield, Fat, Jags, Devlin, Kick, and Benny Roll players. Eugene Morris, outside speed, one-trick pony. But you're right about this. Overall, Zonka and Ricky are your elite backs. You're right about that. Those are the two elite backs that they've had on this team. You're right. Can you talk about Kirk Merritt? His potential is crazy. He had the production too. Again, we got to see it here, man. That production doesn't mean anything. All of that doesn't mean anything. I remember once they drafted a receiver that caught like 120 balls. This was in one of Wanstead's first couple of years. I'm trying to remember his name. The guy never even made it to the start of the season. I think he got cut by then. I forgot his name and the school and all that, but it was one of those, he caught 120 balls and this, that. And what does it mean? You got to translate it to the next level. So, yeah, Merritt has a ton of ability. Let's get excited about it when we see it here and we start to see it translate here. Big old Paul in Connecticut. What's the word on Brandon Jones, third rounder out of Texas? Really like him. Tough dude, versatile, athletic, got range. There's a lot of things to like about him. We got to see him take the field, my man. Same thing. But I do like the pick. I'm with you on that one. I haven't heard from Bill and Simi Valley. I haven't heard from Bill and Simi Valley in a while. I hope you're doing well, Bill, because we haven't heard from you. Big O, why haven't the Dolphins retired the numbers 13, 12, 99, 54, and some other Dolphin legends? I don't think they retire numbers. I think they put them in the Ring of Honor, or something like that. I think that's what it is. But you don't wear them anyway. I think that's how it goes. You're in the Ring of Honor, and you're basically retired. Big O, why do you think the Dolphins were so confident that they could sit tight at 5 and not have another team like the Chargers jump them to 3 and draft Tua? Wasn't that a huge risk, big gamble? If the Chargers jumped ahead of them and they would have taken Herbert, Ray in New Jersey. Ray, I talked about this last week. or what was it last week? It was, yeah, no, it was, I think it was, yeah, it was last week. It was on Friday. I think I talked about it. And here's my theory on this. Do you remember by Wednesday before the draft, the word was coming out how the media was spewing a whole bunch of, what's it called, terrible information? When they were saying the Dolphins were trying to trade up to 3 to get a tackle. You remember that? And so I think this is my theory to this. I think the Dolphins did try to inquire about 3. Obviously, reporters got terrible information and made crap up, and they said that they were going, whoever put that report out there obviously was so wrong, it's not even funny, and they didn't get it from the Dolphins. Now, I'm sure the Dolphins inquired about moving up to 3. Detroit probably opened their mouth and told somebody else, oh, yeah, Dolphins called us, and then some reporter assumed, oh, well, they're trying to move up for another tackle, right? Because everybody at that point was saying, oh, they're not drafting a quarterback, they're drafting a tackle now. They don't want one of the quarterbacks because they went from Tua to Herbert to tackle, remember? And I think what the Dolphins did was they put it out there to try to trade up to 3 to see if the Chargers would bite. And if the Chargers were then going to compete with them to try to get to 3, then they knew that the Chargers wanted Tua. But when they saw that nobody was competing with them to get up to 3, they kind of sat back and said, you know what, we'll stay at 5. We're going to get our guy there. Detroit's not taking him. And so then they went with it, and they had conviction, and they didn't panic. And so it's not a risk if you get your guy, because that means you read it right. So there was no risk. And again, kudos to them. It's kind of like the Noah kid. They wanted him at 26. They knew he would be there at 30, so they took an extra 4th rounder from Green Bay in the process. Smart move. That's how you do it. I like that. I'd rather have that than Rick Spielman panicking and trading up for one spot, giving away a 4th rounder to get Vernon Carey. When the Patriots weren't getting Vernon Carey, they just acted like they wanted to jump you to get Vernon Carey. They really wanted you to take Vernon Carey, so they take Vince Wilfork. And that's exactly what happened. And so the Patriots baited the Dolphins into that pick. Maybe the Dolphins wanted to see if they would bait somebody and see what they would do and move to 3. So there you go. And when they saw nobody was moving, they're like, well, why are we going to give up a pick? You know what I mean? So it was no risk. But if you panic, you end up giving a pick, you move to 3, you get Tua, and you would have gotten him anyways at 5 without giving up the pick. Good front office. Calm, cool, collective. Tell you right now, if Gase puts Morgan at QB on the practice squad this year, Greer will snag him. Tell you what, he won't. Let's see. Do the Dolphins have a realistic shot to win the division? Yes, they do, actually. In this division, they do. They do. And trust me, they will not pick up Morgan. Mark my words. Oh, came across your show just before the draft. Thanks to you, the drive was even a better experience for me. I've been following you since the 90s. Thank you for reminding me I'm old. And wonder whatever happened to you. Other than the hammer, you're the only one that has your finger on the pulse of the Dolphins. Wishing you much success. Positive, Leo. Thank you, Leo. Appreciate you, my man, for listening and keeping it locked. Randall Hill is this guy's pick back in 91. Okay. Yeah, Randall did not live up to the first-round draft status. I mean, that's something that we all have to obviously admit to. That was good. But I don't know if I looked at him to be a monster like I thought Sammy Smith was going to be. I thought Sammy was really going to dominate, man. Especially watching him do what he did to the Canes, I was like, holy crap, yeah. This guy's a beast. All right, let's take a break. Remember, you want to get in, we'll get your questions on the YouTube chat board. We got the super chat going on there on the YouTube chat board, and we thank all of you out there for supporting our show, however it is that you support us. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. right here on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can use that at 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. And some of you out there, you wonder why, because you've asked me on Twitter, hey, why do you keep giving the numbers out when we can see them? And I'm like, you can see them because you're watching. But most of our listeners are on demand. And so they're downloading on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, all that. And, that's where they really listen to our show. So they're listening, not watching, like you guys are. So they don't see this little white box. So I have to say it, and I know it sounds redundant because you see the box, but it's really not redundant because most of the people that follow this show aren't doing it live. You guys realize the 200, 300, 400 people that we've had on this, you guys are the minority. The majority actually wait on demand because they're working or whatever or anything like that. And by the way, thank you for the downloads. We blew away our record. It's crazy. We got one more day to go in the month, and our numbers are in the stratospheres. So not only are the YouTube numbers exploding because you guys are subscribing, you're giving us the thumbs up, you're sharing it with other people, obviously, and that's how we're getting new people every day. Every day people are finding us, and that's why this thing is growing big time, and we thank all of you for that in an immense way. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll get back on the other side. I do want to remind you about Mudias Dental. We love talking about Eric Mudias and Company, 305-821-0231. Invisaligns, I've got mine. Actually, you can get yours to straighten out your teeth, 305-821-0231. If you're in pain right now, you know it's an emergency situation right now. Let's get you out of pain. Call them, 305-821-0231. Follow them on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Mudias Dental. And look, they do it all from implants, Invisaligns, you name it. You want to get your teeth cleaned, you want to fill a cavity, you whatever it is, a crown, you name it, they will take care of you. And state-of-the-art equipment, family-owned. And I know because I'm experiencing it myself. And I tell you, when you see the finished product and you see how my teeth are at the end, we're going to show you the befores and after, and it's going to freak you out. And probably in another month we'll be able to do that, and you're going to wow, the work that Eric has done is second to none. Again, call him, 305-821-0231, or go to the website mudiasdental.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
take you, of course, I don't know, till when. We'll see.
About that time.
Yeah, about that time, whenever that time is. You guys can chime in as you always do. Can I switch a little gears here? Remember, at the top of the hour, Solomon Kinley is going to join us, guard for the Miami Dolphins out of Georgia. Do you have the sound there of Wade and Steph Curry talking there? Can we use that a second? Now, you all know that the whole thing with the dunk contest, Aaron Gordon whines and he lost to Derek Jones, and that Dwayne Wade was being biased and voting Jones in. And so Wade and Gabby were on with Steph and Aisha on IG. And they were going back and forth and drinking wine and all this stuff. You know, and Aaron Gordon has taken out a diss track and things like that. So they're talking about the dunk contest and the scoring. Go ahead and play it, Bill, please. Here we go.
What was your opinion of the last dunk that Aaron Gordon did?
Aaron should have won, man.
Wait, but from that dunk or period?
That dunk was not his best, but he should have won. He had the better body of work. So I understand the dilemma. I just know Aaron Gordon should have won.
Right. But we talking about the last dunk. Would you have gave him a 9? Gave him a 10? Because up until that point, I gave Aaron Gordon a 10 every time.
Honestly, I would have been biased, and I would have said, yeah, he got a 10. I got to make sure he wins.
Great answer. Great answer. So, listen, I was biased as well.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because I gave Derek Jones Jr. a 9 on his first dunk when he jumped over Bam.
Right.
I'm all about it. If you're going to do it, you got to clear him. That's
right. You got a little
clear him, so I gave him a 9.
I got to tell you something. I would have given Gordon an 8 on that dunk, not a 9. He used the ball on his shoulders and then had to climb over him, and he couldn't climb over him. He had to bend down. And I'm with Wade. That's why he gave him a 9, and he gave also Derek a 9 because he didn't clear his guy. If you're going to put somebody in the way, once you hit them, it doesn't count to me. Like, I remember back when, what's it called? What's the name of this dude? Blake Griffin. When he jumps over the car, I wasn't impressed at all. He jumped over the hood, dude. A guy like that, that's nothing. It was a garbage dunk. And they hyped it up like crazy. Why? Because Kia is a sponsor or some crap? Give me a break. That wasn't impressive. You had to jump over the roof to impress me, not the trunk, not the hood. Give me a break.
My favorite is the attempt to jump over the old Wright brothers plane. I forget who it was.
Oh, yeah.
And they...
Yeah. Right. I mean, come on, man. And you know what about Aaron Gordon? Dude, let it go already. Here's Kendrick Perkins. You got the Kendrick Perkins cut? Listen to Kendrick Perkins. Look, Kendrick Perkins is a guy that, you know, he was a solid NBA player for many years. He does a pretty good job overall as an analyst, right? But hey, look, enough of us do this business long enough. We're going to come up with some really terrible takes, right? Here's one of the worst hot takes in the history of basketball.
I think we got to start taking the slam dunk contest more serious. Like, this is a huge accomplishment, in my opinion. You know, you're joining greats, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Kobe Bryant, and like to have your name in that same conversation with those greats, that speaks volume. And also think about it. When you win a slam dunk contest, you get so many endorsements outside of basketball. Mm-hmm. So if I'm Aaron Gordon, I'm holding on to it for life.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Yeah, let's get right next to those greats like Kenny Smith and Harold Miner. Yeah, some greats really win the dunk contest. Kendrick Perkins wants the dunk contest to be taken seriously. Aaron Gordon is taking it too serious. I get it. You play for the Magic. You're never going to accomplish anything, so this might be the peak of your life. If you're stuck there in Orlando, in Doyd City, I understand all of that, okay? But come on, dude. Let it go.
Let it go, my brother. And the dunk contest hasn't been special, Kendrick Perkins, since Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins, dude. All they have are nobodies usually competing in it. No more superstars compete in it. They just look for the most athletic players that they can possibly find in the league, and that's what they put out there. They don't put the stars anymore. That's the difference. Okay, what I would tell Kendrick is, how can you put importance in something that you don't put importance in? And what I mean by you NBA players. You're not putting your best foot forward. You are for the three-point contest, but not the dunk contest. Right? Because if you're putting your best foot forward, you're putting, LeBron there every year. And Michael said that it takes too much out of you. I just don't want to do it. And he did it for a couple of years, and then he's done. Now, mind you, there's no load management in those days. Michael's playing 82 games and doing the dunk contest and taking the MVP in the All-Star game. Different kind of dude, okay? Different kind of dude. So I'm just saying, dunk contest, we want to take this serious. Come on, man. 1, Aaron Gordon, let it go. 2, Kendrick Perkins, stop with the stupidity, bro. Please take the dunk contest serious. Give me a break, dude. The whole weekend's garbage. The All-Star weekend, everything. Maybe, the three-point contest is decent. That's about it. There really isn't a lot. The skills competition, maybe a little fun, whatever. But come on, man. Dunk contest lost its spice so long ago, it's not even funny. Now, I got to tell you something. Can I give somebody credit? Because there's one guy I know in sports, and he does a lot on TV and radio, and he gets paid a handsome amount of money, and that's Stephen A. And let me tell you, Screaming A, God bless him, man. He's a character. He brings that energy, all of that. But there's no doubt in my mind that Stephen A. Smith usually has some of the worst takes in sports. And he's all right in basketball. Basketball, he knows his stuff. Football, he doesn't know squat. And he shouldn't be commenting, but they pay him $10 million a year. They only got so many people at ESPN, so they use him over and over again. And they use him in places that he doesn't belong. But I got to give Stephen A. lot of love. He came up how we've always had that Michael Jordan discussion with LeBron, which is ridiculous, but whatever. And you've got the people that actually think LeBron is better, which, again, ridiculous, whatever. But I got to give Screaming A lot of love because he came up with the best argument and the best reason why Michael Jordan is so much better than LeBron James. And what he said was that Michael never needed to, get the eye of the tiger. He had it in North Carolina. He's had it from day one in the NBA. He never feared the moment. He took on everybody, and he won and things like that. Whereas LeBron was the guy that never performed well in the key moments until he got to Miami, until Game 6 against the Celtics. That was probably the watershed moment of his career. And that's, 9 years into your career. Whereas Michael Jordan was a junkyard dog in North Carolina, hitting the biggest shot of the game in the championship, from the elbow. I thought that was a phenomenal point. I mean, think about this. With Michael Jordan, do you think J.J. Barea would ever have that moment against Michael Jordan like he did against LeBron? No. Michael Jordan would have swatted that gnat down, dunked on him, embarrassed him every way possible. Meanwhile, LeBron allowed that dude to embarrass him. Those are the moments. Those are things that don't happen to Michael. Michael's in the Garden, and he might lose, but he scored 60-something on your ass and tried to beat you in every way possible. But, you can only do so much. And I thought, I got to give Screaming A lot of love on that one. That was a great point that he brought up. And when he brought that up, I thought of J.J. Barea right away. I'm like thinking of that. I'm going, that's a moment that could never, ever happen to Michael Jordan. Ever. So it's just like anybody that tries to tell me that, he's better than Michael, please, dude. Please. Usually it's somebody too young that didn't see Michael and LeBron. But for those of us that watch Michael's career from the get-go, there's no comparison whatsoever. None. Sorry. Okay? LeBron is incredible, one of the greatest of all time. He's not Michael Jordan and never will be. Camilo Medina says, Orlando, great draft. Can we now draft a new radio booth? Cephalo and Greasy have been the worst on my ears than the team has been on my eyes for about 15 years now. Joe Rose can stay, by the way. Hey, man, listen, if they don't know by now that Cephalo is absolutely the worst broadcaster in the history of sports, I can't do anything about it, bro. You know what I mean? So, Mike says, your optimist should bet huge on the Dolphins over and make a small fortune. Oh, I'm betting the over 6, for sure. For sure. For sure. And I'm with you on I don't mind. Joe does a good job. The other two guys, I mean, it's terrible. Terrible. I mean, really. Jimmy Syphilis is as bad as it gets, dude.
Look, Greasy, back in the day when he first got to the booth.
Oh, he was good, really good. College football, him and Woodnelly. You would get those two guys.
Oh, Keith Jackson.
With Keith Jackson, Woodnelly. You get Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy. That was awesome back in the day. Hey, look, man, we all get old. It happens. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you're the Dolphin organization, you got to get smart too and get hip and bring somebody in that, can connect more with people, connect with young people. See, the problem with Jimmy Syphilis is he's lazy. Jimmy Syphilis has always been the most laziest broadcaster in the history of South Florida sports. Okay? It was always Frank Fort doing all the work on Channel 10. Right? I know because I'm the beat guy for QAM at that time. And I'm covering the Heat. I'm covering the Dolphins. I see Frank Fort there with the Channel 10 mic all the time. He's doing all the work, right? And he's got to do the weekends and all that. And Jimmy would pop in to do his little broadcast during the week. And then if the Heat were on the road to take on Charlotte in the playoffs, Frank Fort would go. If the Heat was then on the road again in Detroit to take on the Pistons, Frank would go because he did all the grunt work. But then when the Heat went to New York, Jimmy Syphilis would say, no, Frank, you can stay. I'm going to go to the Big Apple. I'll cover that one. I'll do my little stand-up outside the hotel. Not like I'm really covering practice or anything like that. Dude, that guy's the worst, okay? Jimmy Syphilis is an embarrassment to our business. And let me tell you something. Syphilis is a hell of a broadcaster. He just sucks in sports, okay? I don't think he does a good job with his political show now at this time. He's just like a doddering old man now. But before, back in the day, when he was doing all kinds of other things, he was a really good broadcaster. Okay, TV shows, all kinds. Fluff. He's good for that. But he can't do football. He doesn't follow the sport. He doesn't know the players. That's why he mispronounces half of them. There are certain broadcasters, when you constantly hear them mispronouncing names, it's because they don't watch the sports. They don't follow them. They don't read. So whenever you see any of those newscasters and you see them constantly screwing up, it's because those are the guys that have all their producers doing all the work for them. So they don't know how to pronounce crap. They don't know how to do the damn job. They just get guided by their producers. Producers are, in a lot of cases, producers are the MVPs of a lot of broadcast areas. Okay? They are some of the most important people on ESPN, because they're the ones really doing all the work. Okay? Because there's a lot of lazy hosts out there. I'm telling you because I know. Okay? I know how hard I work. I know what I do because I've never even wanted, like, I want my producer to help me, but I don't want my producer to carry me. No. I want my producer to find something that I haven't found. You know what I mean? Hey, did you see this? No, I didn't, man. That's cool. Let's add it to that. Because more often than not, they'll tell me something I already know about it. You know what I mean? So, because I'm keeping up with it. Big D says Mandich was the GOAT. Yeah, Mandich was good, man. Mandich worked it. Big O, Joe Zagacki should call the game. Joe Z would be 1,000 but Joe Z works it, bro. Listen to Joe Z. He'll tell you stuff that's coming up. He'll tell you about this and the game plan and the change here. He works it. Okay? Joe Z cares. He's a true professional. Jimmy Syphilis is a slob. That's the difference. You know? So that's where, people like me, it's, Big O, don't slander Jeff Thomas. He's going to ball out in New England. Yeah, Jeff Thomas is going to be a punk probably, and he'll fail there. They'll challenge him too much. If he had the eye of the tiger, then why did he retire the first time also, outplayed Michael at the end of his career? Why did he retire the first time? Joe, are you old enough? Do you know what happened? Or are you just asking? You sound really young, Joe. As if you're asking why he retired, then you're young, you probably don't know. I think you need to read up a little bit, my brother. If you're taking the retirement lightly, then you don't really get it. Tell us how you really feel about syphilis. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? I wish a penicillin shot would get rid of him. That's what I can tell you about Jimmy Syphilis. Just a penicillin shot, and then he disappears, and we never have to see him again in the booth. It really is amazing to me how they stick with him year in and year out. So I get it. You want somebody to kiss your ass? Well, everybody that you hire is going to kiss your ass. You get paid by the home team. If you work for the team, you got to kiss their ass. That's where the check is coming from. So you'll be fine. Just go get a real play-by-play guy, man. I look at the Bucks, and they've got the Seminoles guy, Deckerhoff. And Deckerhoff is, like, awesome, dude. That's like one of those voices. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear Gene Deckerhoff, you like know you're listening to a football game. I want that again. When you listen to Jimmy Syphilis, you're just expecting mistakes and buffoonery, basically. Right? I mean, that's all you do. It's Todd Heaps. I remember he used to always add the S. That just, it's crazy. It is what it is. Cephalo was a good player for Miami. Yes, he was, actually. Cephalo was a good receiver for Miami. Not a great receiver or anything, but he was a nice, real complimentary receiver. No, definitely. Good player. No, and let me tell you, he was a good broadcaster back in the day. But since he's done sports here locally, garbage. Total garbage. Okay? Let's see. Jason Jackson and Eric Reed from the Heat are both great. Oh, yeah. Jason's a natural. Eric Reed. But Eric Reed works, bro. Eric Reed and Joe Z are the hardest working play-by-play people I have ever met in my life. Okay? That I can tell you that like fact. When it's a race between those two maniacs on who can gather more information for each game, Eric Reed or Joe Z. I don't know which one's more of a maniac. Love them both. Love them both. Most prepared dudes that there are on the freaking planet. They know every stat. They know what's going on in the games. They know the players. They know how to pronounce it. They know how to draw the picture. All of that. They're so
They
damn
know about
responsible.
the team they're going to face next week.
Yes. They know everything, bro. Everything. Eric Reed and Joe Z are the most prepared and most professional broadcasters I have ever met here in South Florida history. Okay? I'm telling you because I don't BS you guys. And I don't want to take a shot at any other play-by-play guy that's in town or play-by-play woman in town or anything like that. All I know is being around and doing this business for 30 years, I've been around those two cats. And those are the two most prepared mofos on the planet. Bank it. Go back and hear radio calls in the 90s with Bill Zimfer and Mad Dog. Yes, that was awesome. Zimfer knew his stuff. Zimfer screwed himself. Zimfer didn't want to move down, and we got to a point where most teams need their people home because in their hometown because they're going to use them not just during the season, but for other things, corporate events, season ticket holders, things like that. They want to have access to their people locally. So if you're going to represent a team more often than not, most of these teams, especially the ones that actually give a crap about their team, they want you locally. All right, let's take a quick break, and hopefully Solomon Kinley will be joining us shortly. Back with Solomon Kinley from the Miami Dolphins right here on The Big O Show.
I think we got to start.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, we're back. We are awaiting Solomon Kinley to join us now. He is finishing something up right now, and we are going to get him in a minute. And we'll have a little fun with Solomon Kinley here on the program. You can reach out to us. You know what? I can take your questions here. Maybe I don't want to get into too much here with a couple other things that I wanted to talk about. But I'm going to hold off here while we await Solomon Kinley. Let me see what we got on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. As always, Big O, first-time listener at the suggestion of Mark Angelo. Well, thank you, NorCal. Love the Fins talk. What did you think about Curtis Weaver's pick at 164? I love the pick, man. I do. I love the pick. I love this draft. I think they found themselves a guy that is going to help them, but we just got to see it translate. He's got a lot of athleticism. The kid put up some crazy-ass numbers, but we just got to see it translate. It's kind of like Robert Hunt. He plays for Louisiana, but he's got this nastiness to him, but he's got to now play at this level. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's at the SEC, but I can't wait to see him either. You know, the seventh round pick. Damn it, what's his name? Malcolm Perry. I can't wait to see what they do with that kid. You know, there's a couple of players that are really intriguing me in this draft class. Curtis Weaver is definitely one of them. Raekwon Davis, I'm really intrigued to see how this kid plays. I want to see Noah. You know, I want to see Austin Jackson because obviously they need a left tackle in a big-time way. Stowbridge, that's another kid. I really like this draft, man. I really do. Yes.
Just a little info, because obviously the military kids used to have to go to the military for a couple of years. You'd have to wait for them.
Yeah.
We read up on it and found out that they have the option of deferring if they have the chance to go to the pros and basically do your tenure after you do your whatever sport or pay back your scholarship.
Right.
And now, kids that go to the Naval Academy have the choice, obviously, because the Marines, Navy being connected, they have the choice of either going to the Navy or go to the Marines. The kid picked the Marines, man.
Wow.
Tough.
My bad, Hector, Massachusetts says with Weaver and Goldberg, the GOATs. Ah, yes. Rick Weaver, baby. Third down in a cab ride. Let's give old man Greasy some slack. He doesn't have many years left. Cephalo is an ass. I listened to 560. It was all giggling, tailing about movies and commercials. What the F? No, listen, we all love Greasy, but you know it's past his prime. I don't pick on Greasy nearly as much as Cephalo, only because Cephalo is just, you can tell he's notoriously lazy. You can tell in his work. I know because I do this for a living. So when I see you that you're constantly screwing up and you're mispronouncing names and all that, that tells me that you don't care enough about your work. When you're constantly screwing up like that, then you don't care enough about your work and you don't try. And I see it all the time, man, in this business. And so I'm not going to give him the break just because he's Jimmy Syphilis. Give me a break. I'm not going to do that. DraftKings FanDuel chiming in on the super chat. Thank you, sir. And he goes, I'm back here, una coladita. Or is that what you meant by colita or colaita? I think is what you meant, right? Like a little coffee. Okay. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, sir, for taking care of us. For una coladita. We'll be able to do that. The wife doesn't make Cuban coffee in the house. I have to, literally go to, I don't have one. No, well, actually, we do have one here in the house. That classic cafetera. But I rarely use it. I'll just go over to, Cuban places around here or something. I think there's a place right here called La Pasapoga, pretty close by. So that'll be one place that I'll have a little coffee every once in a blue moon. I can't have it a lot anymore, obviously, because of my condition. But, yeah, we like that. We are waiting, by the way, Solomon Kinley here on the program to call us. So we'll continue answering your questions. My best guy ever was Sonny Hirsch. I work with Sonny. I got nothing but love for Sonny Hirsch. Sonny Hirsch for me is, so it's personal. I was his producer for a while at WINZ, 940 Wins back in the day. So I love it. Thomas Bocero says, best Cuban food in South Florida, Las Vegas, or what? Are you talking about Las Vegas cuisine? Or are you talking about La Casita? Or are you talking about La Carreta? Are you talking about Versailles? Well, what are you talking about? El Rinconcito? Which one are we talking about here? Are you asking me? Are you telling me? What is it there? I had to pick. I couldn't get that one. Let's see what else one guy says Jebedel Grenwood is now taking shots at people or me. I don't know. Big D says thoughts on Dick Stockton, a legend, past his time. Great guy, a legend, one of the best broadcasters ever, but probably back, past his time. Big O, why did 560 or 790 let you go? They didn't want to renew my contract. That's it. I didn't get along with the program director at all. I knew he was a horse's ass and knew nothing about this business and was a schmuck and lied to me over and over again. So I was really glad. I knew for 11 months I was going to get fired. You know how brutal it is to walk into a building every day and the guy is going to fire you eventually. And okay, so your option's coming up. And so they parted ways, and that's it. But they've parted ways with many people in that building. That's kind of what's going on. They're not very smart over there. Please give me your opinion on Rick Weaver. God, I like Cephalo when he worked with Charlie Jones. Yeah, that's when Cephalo was a good broadcaster. Back in those days? Oh, yeah, dude. The Cephalo you see now the last 10, 15 years that has been here in Channel 10 and the Dolphins, that guy doesn't work at all. So, yeah, that's the difference. When you don't work it, man, you can tell. You can tell. And those of us that are in the business, we can spot it by miles. Got to rep my local Cuban bakery on 183rd. Best pastelitos in Northwest Hialeah. Okay, dude, but Ricardo, say the name, bro. And you got to rep what's there on 183rd. We got to tell us what the name of the Cuban bakery is. Because, when I go to Murias Dental, that's pretty close to that. So maybe I can go there one day. That's also on my way back from VSS West Pines. And we go there all the time. So you got to tell us which is the place. Okay?
Can I take a guess?
What is it?
Is it a Vicky's?
I don't know. He just said my local Cuban bakery on 183rd.
Well, Vicky's.
I get
everybody,
that.
I think, knows
Vicky's has got it, but I think he would have said Vicky's if it was that common. It sounds to me like it's a personal place.
Juan Pepe's?
He goes, that is the name? What is it? Got to rep my local Cuban bakery at 183rd. That's what it's called? It's called Bakery at 183rd is the name? Really? Okay? All right? Bakery at 183rd. That's a terrible name.
No, they just want you to know where the hell they're at so you'll come.
I know, but it's still a terrible name. Bakery at 183rd? They couldn't be more, like, creative?
You can't say you don't, like, where is it? It's right in the name, idiot. It's right in the name.
Okay, 183rd where?
And
East
what?
or west?
East, yes. Yeah.
Where? Where in 183rd?
183rd is a long road.
Yeah. That's like where in 183rd?
East to west, very, very far.
Cuban Bakery on 183rd. 183rd and what, dude? You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, it's a terrible name. That's a terrible name. Oh, I'm asking you who serves the best Cuban cuisine in South Florida. Wow. That's a great question, man. I love La Casita. They do a great job, man. La Casita is one of my favorite places to eat Cuban cuisine.
They got those, like, homemade black beans, man.
Yeah.
They got the onions, the garlic,
They're
the
good,
green
man.
peppers. The Cuban sandwich, pan con bistec. They use real, like, not palomino, not those thin crap. It's almost like a skirt steak, like
Right.
a churrasco.
Churrasco, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
The
I'm
little
with you.
attention to detail, not regular lettuce, romaine lettuce, that type of stuff.
Big O, I like you. Do you know that everyone on TV and radio talks about you because you really don't sugarcoat nothing, so they tried to badmouth you. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't worry about that.
I don't think you care, do you?
Yeah, just, I'm just one of those, like, you can kiss my ass, man. I don't really care. You know what I mean? It's, listen, when my ex-boss at QAM is telling me, hey, do you have to call Whiteside a knucklehead? And I look at him and I go, he left a semi-automatic gun unlocked in his car. And he got it stolen. And he was shooting in that gun range and then went back to the car to drop off his gun to then go back in. Do you think anyone's going to notice a 7-foot man putting a gun in a car outside a gun place and then walking in the building? How stupid is that? He goes, yeah, I understand. But you have to call him. And I go, but that's what he is. So, yes, we'll call him a knucklehead. So, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's fine, man. Somebody say, if they're taking a shot at me, it's probably because, I don't know. It certainly isn't out of pure hate. Trust me on that. Okay? They're probably taking a dig because there's something there, my man. There's an underlying thing there in the whole
They
process.
probably had a different opinion on you, and they were actually spotted out as being wrong, and you were correct, and it's
Right.
been in their craw.
It usually happens a lot of times like that. It usually happens. Havana Harry's has a churrasco and Alfredo dish that's fire. That's what Mike Crotch says. So you instead of putting Mike Cunt, you put Mike Crotch. Is that what you did? Huh? Is that what you did? Mike Hunt. Has anybody seen Mike Hunt? Let's see. What else do we have here? I love Cuban Coffee Queen in Key West. Never been there. Cuban Coffee Queen in Key West. Okay. The Thomas Bocero says the best sandwich of all time is the Cuban sandwich. Well, I mean, that's a subjective thing. I love Cuban sandwiches too, but there are other people that might tell you it's a pastrami or a Philly cheesesteak or something, Romeus, Big O, come out, Chad the intern. Okay, thank you, Romeus. El Brazo Fuerte on Pines and 172nd next time you're at the Acura, Big O, Chad the intern says. All right. El Brazo Fuerte, for me, is the bakery on 16th off of 32nd. If you know that neighborhood, there's like a little Cuban private school. Right next to it is a bakery that's an institution. It's been there forever, and it's called El Brazo Fuerte. And it's actually a very good bakery, bro. When I used to live in Little Havana with the wife, That was the bakery that I would go to religiously, bro. At Brazo Fuerte. Love that place.
Isn't there the one that has the best croquetas? It's on, I think, Northwest 7th or Flagler, right off the Palmetto, going east. And they supposedly have the best.
Oh, you're talking about not Esquina.
I mean, that's what they're. It's
the blue thing.
Yes.
That's off of. It's 8th Street and 57th. What's the name of that place?
Right.
Yeah, that place has got some great crockets. What's the name of that damn place? Somebody help me out there.
The crockets.
La Palma, or something like that. I think it's called. Something like that. I think.
Whenever I'm in that area, I will pop in there just to do. Have they kept up the standard on the crockets? And they have kept the standard on the crockets.
Thomas Becerra goes, Krispy Kreme Donuts is my favorite bakery. So there you go. He's switching it all up and going to Krispy Kreme. I love it. Big O, you keep it real, and they can't handle that. Oh, yeah, because they don't want to keep it real because they want to play the politics. But I don't play the politics. I love my local Latin American and Vicky Bakery off I-75 in the Lakes. There you go. Dan Johnson and Bruce Hardy were better tight ends in early Marino era than Rose. I don't think Rose will ever tell you he was a great tight end. Rose was a solid backup. Joe Rose had really good hands. Okay? If there's one trait that I remember about Joe Rose, that mofo caught everything, bro. Joe had good hands. He's a good receiver, man. Give him credit. Yeah, I know he's not an all-pro tight end and all that stuff, and his bust isn't going to be in the Hall of Fame and all that, but the dude can play, all right? Yeah, he's an excellent radio guy. He's been doing it forever in this town and all of that, but don't take shots at Joe as a player, bro. Joe can play, man, okay? It wasn't like he was a slouch or, he wasn't a scrub or anything like that. Give Joe a little love, man. He can play the damn game. All right? So, Joe's a good dude overall. Let's see. What else do we have here? Even though, obviously in our discussions many times about the Dolphins, I, did run circles around him many times because he kind of used the homer approach, but that's all right. But outside of that, he can play. He can play, man. He had good hands. That's the one thing I remember about Joe Rose, dude. Excellent hands. All right? Big O, I like you. Thank you for your show. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you out there for keeping it locked. Where the hell is Solomon Kinley now? You know what? Solomon Kinley is the perfect draft pick here. Now we're going to talk to him about Cuban time. So he is just that. If he calls at 102, okay, you're just a little bit after. But now it's 122. So Solomon Kinley is on Cuban time, Yeah, bro. Let me see if I could just No, I'm just going to send the joke to the PR guy. What's to say?
What, he fits perfectly in the 305?
Yeah, dude, perfect 305 guy. I mean, anybody that's, this late, that's strong, bro. That's some strong stuff there.
It's a Miami thing, man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. What else do we have here? Did you see Belichick's dog in the draft? Did you catch that at all? Right? So Belichick's dog now ended up getting a whole bunch of followers on IG. So Belichick's dog is called Nike. Linda Holiday on the Adam Schefter podcast this week said that the pup was so adorable during its viral moment at the NFL draft. The dog's fan base has grown from a couple of hundred to nearly 20,000. Nike, that's the name of the dog, stole the show at the Patriots draft last Friday when it took Belichick's seat just seconds before New England made its second-round pick. Cameras caught the pup staring at the hoodie's monitor, and the scenes couldn't have been cuter. Linda says within minutes of Nike's unexpected cameo, her phone blew up with people hitting the follow button on the dog's IG account. Nike went from 1,000 followers to about 10,000 followers, Holiday said, and my phone was just blowing up. Nike is now up to 16,000 followers on his social media account since the draft. This despite Linda saying she's only put a handful of picks on the page. As for how the dog did captaining Bill Shipp during the weekend, the coach and Linda have got a lot of belly rubbing to do because most pundits gave the Patriots pick an A grade. So, cute dog. It was cool. You know what stood out to me about all of that was, if you notice, right, you see, you know, like Flores had like a personal office there with, his kids and all of that. And there was a little bit of life in it, right? You see Cliff Kingsbury. He's doing his draft from his home in Arizona that looks like he's in this, he looks like he's Tony Montana, right? You know, the world is yours.
Ultra exclusive hotel.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, dude. It's like this magical like place to do your draft, right? And different places you saw. Bill Belichick had a kitchen table, a plain old chair, not like this, not a leather reclining chair, nothing like this. And then just a plain ass kitchen, I think is where he was at or whatever. Nothing, just white. That's it. Just, blue collar. Let me just get this thing done. Hey, coach, you want us to send you a couch, this, that? Nah, I'll just sit here with my computer and we'll just get it done. And it was like so nuts and bolts. You know what I'm saying? Just blue collar as it gets. It's him going, yeah, I'll take that hoodie, grabs a scissor, cuts off the sleeves, throws it on, and he just walks out. You know what I mean? He's not asking for anybody to tailor it or anything. Yeah, cut off the sleeves and tailor it and make it look nice and re-sew it up. No. That's not Belichick. It was just plain Jane. So now the dog's got a whole bunch of followers on its IG account. And the funny part is that dog has more followers than all of us. That is awesome, dude. And most of them, they're just Patriot fans following the coach's dog, most of them. And then you have, I'm sure, some dog lovers. I'm a dog lover, but no, I'm not following his dog. Not that I have anything against the dog. I wish the dog the best. He's fantastic, but it's Belichick. I'm not here to give Belichick any love, dude. Okay, he gets enough already. Oh man, I love it. Deb Tam says more personality than Bill, no doubt. Yo, the dog, yes, I would have to say that the dog does do it. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break because I'm told that Solomon's about to call us now. So let's get a quick break in. Now, if everything goes well, Solomon Kinley, Dolphins guard, will join us next.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
I'm gonna be one of the ones. You're gonna turn on the film and practice. I'm practicing no matter what, who's behind me. He could be a two-star that he's not, don't even know the plays. I feel like he's threatening me for my job. He's threatening me from putting food on my family plate at the end of the day. So that's how I always view everything when I'm on the field, how I'm in practice. So it really didn't even matter.
All righty, welcome back. Yes, sir. We're gonna. That was right there, Solomon Kinley, of course, kind enough to join us now on the program. You just heard it there with the desperation, the way he plays the game. Solomon, good afternoon, my man. How are you doing, sir?
Good afternoon. I'm good. What about you?
Well, you listen, I'm stealing money talking sports every day. What do you think about that? I mean, this is 30 years of me not having a real job, Solomon. What do you think about that? What do you think about my streak?
Oh, man, if I can do it, I would.
Well, aren't you doing it, right? You're about to get paid to play a game. You're about to get paid to kick people's asses up and down the field.
Yes.
That's got to be a lot of fun for you,
Yes,
Solomon.
sir. And no doubt it is. No doubt it is.
So on that soundbite, you talk a little bit about how you have the challenge of playing with that edge every single time. And you talk about it. You don't care if it's a two-star guy behind you. Well, now you're not the starter right now. Now you've got to earn that job. So how do you attack this now?
Like I said, I'm going to attack it like any other way I attack anything. Like you said, I'm not the starter right now, so they're going to make me work even harder. But it ain't no place where this is, I work harder, I stop working. I'm going to work my whole career in the NFL, my whole life. So it don't matter, like I said, he can be a 2-star, a 5-star. He can be a Pro Bowler or not a Pro Bowler. I got to work.
What was that? Do you remember the moment where you started to have that kind of work ethic, that kind of, desperation that you play with every single day? Do you remember that moment when you got that work ethic?
To be honest, I got that work ethic when I was like young, like at an early age. I really had got that drive in me was when I was younger and I couldn't play like pop on the ball with my brother because of my weight and everything. And I remember at times, like I said, I was a lifeguard. I was a lifeguard, and I played basketball. And what really made me drive myself and everything, because I remember times when I used to get in the pool, people used to be whispering, like, "What is he about to do? Is he about to get in the swim?" And I just got in the pool and beat everybody. Got on the basketball court. It was like, oh my God, he's too big. What is he doing? He must be the waterboard or something like that. Got on the court and gave him like 15, 20 points every game. So that's just my drive. No matter like who you is, what you've been through, like how you look, or what you like going through at the time, you can do anything you want to. So if you got and if you're pushing yourself and got the right mindset, you can do it.
So tell me, Big Fish, how did your love for the water come to fruition? What was that day that you like decided, I love the water, I love to swim? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that was when I was very young. That's one of the first thing I ever done before in the sport. It was swimming. We used to go to the local pool, like 10 minutes away. Me and my brother used to walk to the pool when my mom was at work. And every day we used to go up there, and we just got in the pool. But at the first time we went up there, we didn't know how to swim, and it was this coach, and he taught us how to swim. And then when I was younger, I had cousins and big older siblings that was working as a lifeguard, and I seen that they were getting a good amount of money and living how we used to live and where I come from. I was like, oh my God, bro, I could really make money off doing something I really like. And as I got the older age to become a lifeguard, I became a lifeguard, and I just love the pool. I love the water from now on.
So who gave you the nickname Big Fish?
I think it was a news reporter or somebody. I can't remember.
So it was
who
later.
gave
It was
but
later in life. It wasn't when you were young hanging around the pool. It was after you kind of became a football player. Is that what it was?
To be honest, I think it was younger, but I can't remember the person who called me. And then, like, when I got older, started playing football, it came back on me.
Okay, all right, Big Fish. So do you have a tattoo or something of Big Fish on you?
Not yet. That was my thing. Crazy that you say that. That's going to be my next tattoo, the Big Fish.
There you go. There you go. Well, how beautiful is it that the Big Fish gets drafted by the Dolphins? I know you're from Duval, so I'm sure you were kind of a Jags fan growing up, and they've got their beach too. But man, we got the sexy beach, baby. We got South Beach here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's just crazy how I just fill in with each other, man. You know, it's just crazy. Like, it's power in the tongue. A power in the tongue. A long time ago, I made something, and it was like when I was younger. Because my whole dad's side of my family lives in Miami, and I used to always visit my auntie and talk to her and do those type of things. And I made something that said I was from Miami, Florida. I live in Miami, Florida. I played for the Miami Hurricanes, and I played for the Miami Dolphins. And that was like almost 12 years ago. And look at me now. I'm playing for the Miami Dolphins. I'm about to live in Miami.
So Solomon, I would imagine, we're talking with Solomon Kinley, by the way, guard of the Miami Dolphins. So you'll be playing football, but then in your off time, you're going to try to lifeguard out there in South Beach. Maybe a honey needs, a little help out there, and Solomon is ready to help out.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best to help out. Yes, sir. Help everybody out in the pool and everything.
Well, tell us about the day you saved the child, because that's got to be scary, and very fulfilling too at the same time. That the job you were brought to do, you ended up coming through in a big time way. Walk us through that moment when you had to save somebody.
Oh man, I'm gonna try to keep kind of short, but it was crazy, man. See, what I do is like I have a good bit of siblings and a good bit of cousins and all type of stuff, and me, I'm just a family person, and I love the kids, so I did swim lessons, and I was teaching swim lessons at the time, and what I taught my kids was at the very first time we have swim lessons, I teach them how to come off the wall, and when they come off the wall. While they're sitting on the side of the wall, if they come off, make sure they always touch the bottom so they can boost themselves back up and like to grab the side of the wall. So I taught that for about a few days, and everybody hadn't really got it. But it was only this one kid, like he was so terrified to put his face under the water, so he didn't really do it. And but I had this one kid, he always jumped off the wall. Like I promise, he jumped off the wall every time. But he was not afraid of the water. He was like, he was like, okay, I got this. He don't talk me. I jump off the bottom of the wall. Bottom of the pool, so I know how to swim now. So that's how he viewed it. The one kid that didn't never want to jump off the wall, that didn't never want to put his face in the water, he kind of like was shy. He stopped, and he kind of like stopped coming. So he stopped coming for about a week or two. So I called the people and like asked him if he okay. He was like, yeah, he'll be back through every now and then when he wants to, when he's ready. I was like, okay, yes, ma'am. I told him, yes, ma'am. And the one kid that kept jumping off the wall, he was one of my best swimmers at the time. So I had about 5 or 6 kids at the age of, I would say, the oldest was probably 7. So the oldest was probably 6. So, and from like 5 to 7 years old. So I had those kids, and it was just basically the kid kept jumping out the water, but he was a good swimmer. He was actually turned out to be he's going to be a good swimmer. So one day the kid that came to the pool, he came back to the pool that didn't want to put his face on the water, and he had like I guess his mom put something in him or said something to him was like, "You gonna learn how to swim." And I promise he came back the next week and he was like swimming, like putting his face on the water. He wasn't scared. So I kind of guided him a little bit more out in the water. And the one kid that kept jumping off the wall, I promise he did about 1,000 times. He did about 1,000 times. But my number one thing I told him was the black part of the pool is the slippiest part of the pool. The little lines in the pool. Right. I say, do not step on that. No matter how big or tall you are, you will slip and fall if you step on it the wrong way. And he jumped off the pool. He jumped off the side of the wall and thought he was gonna come back up. And he was slipped on the side of it. And I had the other kid that just came back a little farther out in the water, and all the other kids were yelling my name, Solomon, such and such is under the water. So I had to hurry to swim back to him and grab him. I had done grabbed him. He was throwing up water. He was almost to the point where he almost really drowned, to the point where if you're about to drown, that means you poop on yourself. You had done poop on yourself and everything. I was like, oh, man. Wow. But unfortunately, I did what I had to do. I saved him and everything, and the kid never came back to the pool.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a scary situation for the kid at that moment. It's one of those moments that it's probably going to take them a while to kind of overcome that. When you have there are people that fall off bikes and then they never want to get back on again because they're afraid of it. It's just one of those things that you've got to tackle. So apparently you're a butterfly freestyle guy when you're doing your swimming. That's your favorite.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So do you tell me about a moment where you freaked people out like that you were a really good swimmer and they look at a big dude like you? I mean, big dudes like you aren't supposed to be like really agile in the water. You know what I'm saying? Big dudes like you usually just like float. They kind of hang out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really your thing. So tell me, give me a story when you freak somebody out with your athleticism in the water.
Let me see. I got one back in the day, and I'll tell you the one when I was in college with Coach Smart. I was in college with Coach Smart, and all the freshmen before camp start, the weekend before camp start, that Sunday we would go to his house, his lake house, and like we'll get in the water, get on the boat, and like just have fun. And I previously told him that I was a lifeguard, but as I went out there, this is in my older time, so I was able to do a lot more stuff than I have been doing, but back in the day. And he was like, "Saul, you in the life jacket?" I was like, "Coach, no, I don't need life jacket. I know how to swim." I was a lifeguard. He was like, "Boy, you want no lifeguard?" I was like, "Coach, I promise I was a lifeguard." He was like, "Okay." Next thing you know, I went to the pool. I went to the side of the lake, and I did a backflip. I was doing backflips. I was doing front flips. I was diving off the boat. I was catching footballs in the water and all kinds of stuff. He was like, "Wow. Oh my God, he really was a lifeguard. He might have been a lifeguard."
Did you ever do that backflip that Mark Richt used to do when he was the Georgia coach at the swimming pool? I'm sure you heard about that.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I never did it. We never. That kind of tradition kind of died down when Coach Smart came about.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I thought something amazing about you, Solomon, and we're talking with Solomon Kinley, Dolphins draft pick. You didn't start playing football till you were in 9th grade. Why?
Like I said, in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, Pop Warner ball, it was more of a weight limit league. So when I was younger, I had to play with the older kids. I probably could have played, but my mom was like, "No, he's too young. This, that, and the third." And they really didn't come out with they really didn't come out with an unlimited weight football team, like a Pop Warner unlimited weight football team until like I was in the 7th grade. I played a year or two in there, and I went to middle school. I tried to tell my middle school teams, but sometimes the middle school team didn't have a helmet for all the kids, they had shoulder pads for all the kids. So I was like, okay, I guess I ain't gonna be able to play for this team because we really didn't have nothing going on for ourselves. And then at the high school, some of the coaches seen me play at the Pop Warner Unlimited Weight Football League, and then as I got to high school, I just went on from there.
Nice, I like that. Well, at Georgia, you played both guard spots and center, and so I'm wondering when you talk to Coach Flores, where are they going to start you? Where do you expect to start competing at? What guard spot? Or did they tell you you're going to also play a little center too to try you out there?
Like you said, man, I played both guard spots and I played a little bit of center. Wherever the coaches need me, I'm ready to work hard, ready to be humble, and had a blessing to even compete for a starting job as me coming in as a rookie. So wherever the coach and the team need me and they need to fill me in, I'm ready.
But have you had that specific conversation at all with your line coach or anything like that? Like where we're gonna? No. Okay. All right. Because I don't know if they gave you the playbook and they said, okay, this is your spot. You got to learn all your responsibilities. So that's pretty cool because you're going to be open to a lot of that. How comfortable are you, Solomon, at center?
I'm pretty comfortable. I mean, I could play it if I need to. I could play it if coach needs me to. So, I mean, I just practice all type of anytime I work out, I practice all the inside drills. Anything I do, I practice center and guard and left guard.
So let me ask you: have you spoken to Tua yet, or did he reach out to you? No,
sir, I haven't talked to him yet.
Okay, all right. That's I'm just wondering because you had to compete, and you know it's interesting how you move now, and you gotta be a pro now, right? But in college, there's that rivalry, that SEC rivalry, and now there ain't no rivalry. Now you guys are teammates, and you know hopefully you're blocking for him for a long, long time to come, and winning a lot of games down here.
No doubt. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm. All right, Solomon Kinley joining us here. By the way, 3 of your guys on the line got drafted. That says a lot about what you guys were at Georgia.
Yes, sir.
How nasty of a group, and talk about your style to explain to Dolphins how you play the game when the whistle sounds.
Pretty much our offensive line, we had that great inside of us. We that run team, that run the ball first. We never was no second option. Our second option was our third option was to throw the ball. Our second option was also to run the ball. So that's just the type of that you got to have dogs in your locker room. You got to have dogs in your offensive line room to be able to want to do that type of stuff. To be able to want to run the ball 24/7, 8-man box, and not only just run the ball and run it successful. So it was just like that's just how we view everything, man. We know if the team gonna go, the offensive line got to go. If the team don't go, the team not going because the offensive line not going. So we cherished that moment, and sometimes it was hard, but we also knew how to deal with that type of stuff. So when it came out to the NFL draft, that's why I was solidified as people. Us 3 got drafted because we did what we had to do in college, and we tried to move on to the next level and do even better.
All right, Solomon. So I've been doing this for about 30 years, and I've gotten to know several NFL people. So when you got drafted, I sent a couple messages to some of my scouts around the league. One scout sends me this, and you tell me what's accurate, what's inaccurate, what you need to improve on, what he's right, what he's wrong. You tell me. Great kid, road grader, and if he keeps his weight down, he will be a 10-plus year rock. Tough kid that's nasty and athletic for his size when healthy. Was gimped by ankle last year. How accurate is this NFL scout?
I mean, I feel like he's 100% right, but I feel like I'm healthy. I feel like I'm ready to go, and my weight is good and everything, so I'm ready to play.
So that was an issue for you. Your ankle has slowed you down a little bit last year?
Yes, sir, no doubt.
Okay. And weight, why a couple of guys mentioned your weight. Is that something that you've got to watch out a little bit there? Talk to us a little bit about maintaining that.
No, it was just last year I had gained. I was up like 10 pounds because of my foot. Like, when you get an ankle injury, that's something that you need the most to run, do cardio, do extra things, all types of stuff. And dealing with that injury, I couldn't do a lot of stuff that I usually had done the previous year. So that was just the main thing. I feel like the coach said something about weight, but other than that, I'm good. I'm solid.
Yeah, no, because you know what's funny, Solomon, because I've seen guys, and you're right, when you have a lower body injury, it's hard to train, right? And so I love it when some of the trainers put you guys on that machine where you've got your arms and you got to go round and round and round and round like a bicycle,
And, like, that's how they want you to get your cardio. And hell no, I'm going to lose weight like that. There's no way you'll lose weight like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to use your legs. So, yeah, I can see with an ankle injury how it would definitely cause some issues. But, hey, the beauty, Solomon, is you're going to be practicing in a sauna every single day here in South Florida, baby. It's good stuff. Hey, Solomon, thank you for taking some time here. I know Dolph fans really appreciate it. Look forward to you taking the field, my man, and road grading your way to a Super Bowl for the Dolphins. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
You got it. You be good out there, man. Thank you. Solomon Kinley. There you go, guard out of Georgia, and now for your Miami Dolphins. Looks like a great kid. I like that. Lifeguard, saves a child, is athletic as hell, all of that. And how about that? I put, one of my guys, his report, and the guy did not challenge one bit of it. That's pretty cool when you see something like that. And he's honest. He was honest about the ankle. He was honest about how the weight, which I don't know how many players I've talked to over the years that when they have lower body injuries and they can't exercise the same way, they gain weight, man. They gain weight. And when you're a big guy naturally, it's not easy. Trust me, I know because I've been a big guy for a long time, and it's always a challenge every single day to try to keep the weight off. So I hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Solomon Kinley. Let's see what we got here. I don't like Grier for one simple reason. Fact is, his dad still works for the Patriots, and for the last 20 years we suck. So guess what I think Grier is? I don't know. Do you know that Grier's dad works for the Dolphins? Not the Patriots. He's a consultant for the Dolphins. I don't know if you know that. He worked for the Patriots, but he now works for the Dolphins. I believe he's a consultant for the Dolphins. You can have all the influence, but when you don't have final say, it isn't your draft. Oh, what do you guys? You guys are in another one of those. You guys are in a silly Grier conversation now. Are you arguing with somebody that's blaming Grier for the past? When you with those kind of people, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Anybody that thinks Grier was in charge of the drafts 5, 10, 15 years, don't even bother in those conversations.
I cannot believe that this still goes on.
I know, it's just stupid.
This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's stupid. So whoever's bringing it up on the chat board, just don't waste your time, man. It's stupid. It's stupid. Anybody that's blaming Grier for what happened 10 years ago and 5 years ago and 8 years ago and 12 years ago and 20 years ago, that's just stupid. Bro, what a great kid. Owned the question asked. Quality mind. Yeah. No, I like him. He was cool. Let's see. What else do we have? The trolls are out in full swing, I'm told here. Great interview. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Drewbo says, haha, facts, what else do we have here? Grier's father was the guy who drafted Brady. He missed on all the other picks that year, but who cares? Actually, why don't you just look at Belichick's drafts most of the time? They miss on a lot, dude. A lot. They make up in other ways. That's how they do. Let's see. True as F-O, Alexa says. Thank you, Alexa. Lifeguard to NFL guard, Joe Miller. I like that. That's a good line, Joe. That's a really good line. Can't disagree with that one. We will continue to work on getting some other guests on for you from the draft class. We'll keep working on all of that. What else do we have going on here? I want to. Jameis Winston has made a decision, finally. We talked a little bit about it, I think it was 2 days ago. And so the negotiations were still going on. Yesterday they finalized it. And he was on a podcast. Now I'm forgetting the podcast he was on, which is my bad. But he was discussing his decision. Can you play Jameis Winston? Can you pull that up for me? Winston was talking about his decision on joining the Saints and why he is joining the Saints. So let's hear from Jameis Winston. Go ahead. Play it. No? Yes? Maybe? Could be? We could have it? We might have it? We're trying? Let's see. That's a big dude to be doing backflips. Yeah, Mike, that's because he's really talented. You know, that's where you got to, give the guy some props, as they say. All right, do we have Famous Jameis there? Let's go with Famous Jameis. Go. Fire away.
I think I'm going to being a part of New Orleans Saints, being a part with Drew Brees, Taysom Hill, Sean Payton, Coach Joe Lombardi, Coach Pete Carmichael Jr. When you think about that room, I mean that's like a Harvard education in quarterback school. So I wanted to put my ego aside, put the money to the side, and think about my family, think about my career, and it was no better position than to be in the same room with someone that I really looked up to, someone that I admired since I've been playing this game, and Drew Brees. And just understanding where I'm at in my career, I've done some great things with the Bucs. I'm going to miss being a starting quarterback, but you never know what happens. I think that this is just a great and unique step to join Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints and learn from him, learn from one of the best to ever do it, and make a great transition in my career. It's a proverb. Humility comes before honor. So I have to humble myself, and this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to be with Drew Brees and to be with the New Orleans Saints, and just prepare for when my next opportunity is going to present itself.
As long as Jameis Winston is behaving like a normal person, like he has the last couple of years, and then doesn't act like the idiot that was at Florida State, I will be one of his biggest cheerleaders. He showed me an incredible amount of maturity, intelligence. This is as right a move as it could possibly be for Jameis Winston. I mean, look, he's got a problem, dude. Okay? The dude throws way too many interceptions. He makes bad decisions. And before you go, look at Adam Gase. Adam Gase is a disaster. Can't communicate with people. Really isn't that great a head coach or anything like that. And he screws up left and right all over the place. Alienates people, his coaches, all that. They fire him here in Miami, but by hiring him right away with the Jets, he goes somewhere and he thinks that everything he did was right, that everything Miami was doing was wrong, right? So he doesn't learn a damn thing. If Jameis Winston takes off from Tampa and I don't know, let me throw out a team that let me see. I mean, let me think of the perfect or kind of perfect scenario that's out there that he could go to for my suggestion. Trying to think of somewhere. San Diego. Okay, so let's say, I'm sorry, the Chargers, Los Angeles. So let's just say the Chargers offer him, and I know they've got Tyrod Taylor there, but they're not really known for developing quarterbacks or anything like that. But they offer him the most money and a shot at starting, and he goes there and he does the same thing he did before because he doesn't really have somebody to teach him. And here's a young man that goes, man, I'm at a crossroad in my career. I can just go chase the money and go whatever, or I can take a step back. Yeah, I'll make less money, but I'm still going to make good money, but I got a shot at learning from Sean Payton. I got a shot at sitting in a meeting room every day with Drew Brees and find out what he's doing right that I'm doing wrong. Because when I look at his interception column and I look at my interception column, my Lord, I've thrown more interceptions than he has in the last 2 years than he has in the last 10. And so for him to do this and to humble himself like he said and not allow his ego to take place, because this in the end will make him a better player And this, in the end, it should make him a better quarterback. And let me tell you, I know Drew Brees has got 2 years left. And I'm sure New Orleans, after the 1 year, if he does do things the right way, they're going to be begging him to stay 1 more year so he would then take over. But since he is only signing a 1-year deal, I'm telling you, whoever really needs a quarterback next year, go after Jameis Winston, man. Because you're going to get a different Jameis Winston a year from now. Because if you're willing to do this, you're willing to learn. You're willing to understand why you're at where you're at. Why do you keep making these mistakes? Now you're willing to learn to correct those mistakes. He is showing that he is taking pride in what he's doing. That he's not just there to take the money and take the title and take whatever comes with it. No. There's something wrong with me. I need to fix it. I need to go back to school. And that's where he's going to get an education. Where else does he get a great offensive mind and a Hall of Fame quarterback to learn from every single day? And I know he was really nice in mentioning Taysom Hill in the mix. He's not there to learn from Taysom Hill, okay? He's there to learn from Drew freaking Brees. Because if I'm Jameis Winston, I am just whatever Drew Brees does, I'm doing exactly the same way. How he works out, how he watches films, how he breaks down the opponent, how he prepares for the game plan, everything. It takes a certain level of intelligence, a certain level of maturity to do what Jameis Winston is doing. Okay? So, in my eyes, I got to tell you, I got nothing but props for that young man, and I am rooting in a big-time way for Jameis Winston. I love what he's doing here, man. I wish him the best. I hope he leaves from there and goes to do great things for another team at that quarterback spot. I really do. As long as it's nowhere in the division with the Dolphins, I just hope he moves on, and has a great career, man. Really, really cool to see what he did and the way he's approaching it. That just tells me that, this dude really wants to be better.
The coach that he had last year, Bruce Arians, is supposedly a quarterback guru.
Supposedly.
I hope that he, takes advantage.
Well, the problem is that everybody in the first year of Bruce Arians, they throw a ton of interceptions.
Yeah, I did see that. I did.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody under him. So it takes him a while to figure you out.
Him back in,
and he doesn't have time. He doesn't have time. He's got to retire soon. He needs to win now and get the hell out. And that's why they went and got, Tom Brady, because they don't know if they'll make him ready for a championship down the line. So they went and got Tom Brady, and they gave up on him.
Sitting there with Brees, man, you'd be hard pressed to find a better guy.
But if you watch Peyton, Teddy Bridgewater was productive. Taysom Hill is productive. Obviously, Drew Brees has had a great career. He helped. I believe he was at the beginning of Tony Romo's run with Dallas, and then he left to New Orleans. I think that's how it went.
Sean Payton is a great coach. There is no doubt.
So Sean is a guy that is known, for his offenses even more than Bruce Arians. So
definitely.
I mean,
it's just obviously the quarterbacks that have touched Arians.
Well, but Carson Palmer was already a quarterback before he got him. You know what I mean? And then he picked up Luck, but Luck was, kind of a stud already.
Well, there was Roethlisberger. There was and Peyton.
Yeah.
And they were early.
But I don't think he developed Peyton Manning.
Wasn't he with him early?
No.
Because then he went to Pittsburgh.
The guy that developed Peyton Manning is Coach Cutcliffe. That's the guy he goes back to all the time. Cutcliffe is his guy.
Oh, the Duke.
The Duke? He was the Tennessee offensive coordinator.
Right.
Under Philip Fulmer.
Yeah.
So, and that's why he goes back to Duke, and that's why his brother goes back.
The
Peyton Manning camp is run with him, not with Bruce Arians. So I'm just saying,
you're right, yes.
I'm just saying. I just think that this here is the best place for Jameis Winston. I'm really impressed with, his maturity to appreciate. It's kind of what you just saw from
Hope he
Solomon.
takes advantage of the opportunity,
You just saw it from Solomon Kinley. I read the scout's report, and he did not deny the ankle. He did not deny the weight issue. That's all. It wasn't. And he said the guy described him to a T. So that's what you want. You want people that are going to be honest about themselves, because that's the only way we're ever going to improve. That's the only way any of us get ahead in life, is that when we look in the mirror, we call it like we see it, So let me see what we got here on the text machine. You know what? Let me do this. Let's take a quick break to start off hour number 4, and we'll come back right here on the Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you
No
tired
one
of watching the
expects to
same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right. Final segment of the program. As always, we appreciate all of you for keeping it locked in here. I'll check the accidentlawfirm.com text line now in a second. We'll get some of your questions and comments in if we have any here on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. As you know, we've got that 24-hour talk show going on. We will try to get more interviews for you from the draft class coming up, of course. And we will have a little fun more with some of these young guys as they get ready for this upcoming season. Mike in Phoenix says your detractors are probably envious of you. They wish they had brass balls like yourself and not paper mache like their own. I don't know about that, but you never know. Big O, I love your thinking. Super Bowl in 2023. Thank you. It would be nice, right? Wow, they simply don't like Greer. We all know he wasn't in charge. I mean, it is what it is. What are you going to do? You've proved that you have a lot of class with what you said about Joe Rose. Joe's fine, dude. I mean, nothing wrong with Joe. Joe's a good dude overall, bro. Joe's paid his dues. He cares about what he does. He works his ass off. I know because I see it. So he's a good dude overall, man. And so yeah, I got no issues with the Rose man. That's for sure. Let's see what we got here on the chat board. See what we got. Big O, I hope Jameis learns from Peyton and Drew. He's a great kid. Just Ice Cool says, since Greer took over the draft in 19, 5 to 7 picks were in the trenches. Let's go. We're doing it finally. Yeah, well, they're smart. If you don't build up the trenches, you guys know it's not like nobody's breaking any news here. You guys know the Dolphins are toast if they don't build up the lines. We can't have quarterbacks running around for their lives every year. We just can't do that. The good thing with Winston is you could get him on a decent deal the next year. Yeah, you're right. Unless Drew Brees gets injured for like this past season, he was out for 6 games. And if Winston comes in and balls out, okay, because Teddy didn't ball out. Teddy threw 9 touchdowns in 5 games. That's nothing. With that kind of offense in this league, 9 touchdowns in 5 games, you're not winning a lot of games. Your defense has to be so dominant. And I know they went 5-1, but normally that's not going to help you out. And so, Teddy normally has never been an explosive player. But if Winston goes and plays the same, it's 6 games. If he plays the same amount of games and he throws 20 touchdowns and like only a couple picks, 2 or 3, then people are going to say, okay, Peyton reached him. All right, we could go for it. And then the rest is history. Big O, did you see Alex Smith's leg? It looks like The Walking Dead. Oh, yeah. Did you watch the Alex Smith thing? You haven't seen Alex Smith yet? You haven't? Oh, yeah. You got it. Yeah, his leg is gruesome, dude. Gruesome.
No worse than my cousins that got run over by a port packer.
It looks exactly like it. Go look at it. It is bad, bro. You got to go look at that video. Oh, my God, it is bad.
Yeah, his leg, the skin got peeled down to his ankles.
This bone protruding all through.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's nasty.
Skin grafts and
Nasty. I feel terrible for the young man.
He's probably not ever going to play again, correct?
He shouldn't.
Right?
He shouldn't. He's made lots of money, bro. Go retire, and you don't need it, bro. You don't need to prove anything to anybody else. You're a half-decent quarterback in this league. You made it for a long time. Move on, bro. Move on. I hope Alex's crazy ass never comes back. Winston is there to learn and master the position. Previously, he was focused on starting and trying to play. He should be a more well-rounded QB after this season. I'm telling you. There's no doubt. I don't think he'll start this year, but I think next year he'll be our starting center. You talking about our boy here, Solomon Kinley? We'll see. Let's see what else do we have here on the Big O. Did you know that Dave Hyde? He seems like a fair sports columnist. Dave Hyde's good, bro. What are you talking about? Not fair. Dave Hyde's excellent, bro. Love Dave Hyde. He's one of my favorite columnists, bro. Love Dave Hyde. I think he does an awesome job overall. Yeah, man. Dave is a really good dude. Works his ass off also, which is another one. Did you see the other thing that's been developing from the Last Dance? And I've seen this in the past with other people, and I never knew what it was or what condition, but did you see how everybody's now talking about Michael Jordan's yellow eyes? And so now people are playing doctors, right? And I made these notes on it. So they're calling it kidney issues. They call it jaundice infection, which is a liver failure. I don't know. Now people are assuming that he drank so much that that's where it's from, and liver. I have no idea. I'm not a doctor. Did not sleep at a Holiday Inn and all of that. But it's funny how we're all looking at the same thing. Like, damn, MJ's eyes are like, damn, those things are screwed up. They're all like yellow. What the hell's wrong with him? So I don't know if it's a generational thing or really is a liver or kidney, or I don't know. I have no idea. But it has become this thing. I would imagine that now Jordan, while he gets this whole documentary out, people are probably going to approach him and reach out to him like, hey, you need to take care of your yellow eyes or something like that. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. You noticed the yellow eyes for Jordan? It's just like,
yeah, I did.
Like, it stands out like right away. Like,
yeah.
You like see it and it's like, okay, wow, yellow eyes. Ugh. Kind of odd, weird, disturbing. Is he sick? Right? That's kind of what goes through, because I have no idea what the hell it is. But it does go through my mind, like, is he all right? You know what I mean? Or is this just a thing that's, hereditary? It's passed on from one generation to another. I have no idea. But I did see that, and it's kind of like become a thing. Every time the show is on, people are talking about his yellow eyes and all of that. Interesting. Let's see. Fools have been playing internet doctors since COVID-19 broke loose. I, like most official Fins writers, there are some good unofficial ones too. Hyde has been negative. Has he? I don't know. I don't think Hyde does that stuff, dude. I don't think Hyde tries to be negative, or he tries to be positive. I think Hyde just writes what he sees. And you may not agree with it. That's fine. It's sports. We're not supposed to agree all the time. But, yeah, I can see it. Jordan has the eye of the tiger. Jordan snorting the white lines. This Big O is awesome. Much better than your last couple of years at 560. Oh, God. They were terrible, man. It was such a bad company at the end. Once we lost Beasley and Joe, and especially once that building on the sports side, I can only talk of. Once we lost Joe Bell, it was over. Greg Reed and Joe Bell were terrific for us. After that, it's been straight garbage. Ryan McGuire was fantastic, but he had his hands tied because CBS was not spending any money whatsoever. Ryan would get it. It would have helped out with Ryan. But Ryan did not have any help, and he was working for CBS. And CBS, when CBS bought us, is what they did. They bought all the stations to then sell them to, that's all it was. It's for a profit. So what they did was they kept firing people. Like they fired my producer, Brandon Rodriguez. He was with me for 7 years, dude. Excellent producer, bro. Excellent producer. Worked his ass off, booking guests, production, all of that stuff. Kick-ass producer. They booted him. They booted Curtis Stevenson. They got rid of JT Wilcox. Like, great people in the building. And it's like, oh, we need to cut money. So when we sell it, the overhead's lower, and it's a sexier sell. So they did that, like, company-wide. They kept wiping out people. And then, since Intercom took over and they bought too many stations, they kept wiping out people, and it's a disaster. It is what it is. But we went downhill once CBS took over because they really weren't in the business of radio anymore. But it is what it is. They used to be a really good company, unfortunately. What are you going to do? Anyway, we got to wrap it up here on the show. We thank all of you for tuning in like you always do. Appreciate it. Thank you, all of you out there. And thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chats today. Our super chat, Don Parmento with the super chat, FSU baby, giving us a little super chat love. Julius 305, DraftKings FanDuel with the super chat love. We thank all of you out there super chatting it. And those of you on the chat, those of you on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, on Twitter, downloading the show, however it is you support us, we love you for it in a big-time way because we get to grow every single day. So we're here to kick ass for you every single day. So thank you all out there. You all be safe. Much love. Thanks to Bill and Philippe. Excellent work by them. Be good and have a fantastic day.
Talk to you tomorrow from Toyota of Hollywood.
All right.